Hey everybody, welcome to episode, I have no freaking clue, but it's the third episode of the Roadtrip series. We did the first episode before we left, talking about what we had planned and how we thought things were going to go. Things definitely did not go the way we thought they would, as you will hear on this one. Then the first episode, I think, covered maybe the first 4 to 6 days of the trip, and then this one covers from whatever 4 or 6 day whenever we got to last time, all the way up to I think like the 21st day of the trip when we were just getting into Texas. Just got to Houston, and that was the fights and seeing Joe Rogan in Austin and all sorts of really fun shenanigans. So we'll probably cover that on another episode in the coming weeks here. But this is full of laughs, full of lots of good stories, lots of if you enjoyed the first 2 episodes of us two idiots, you'll definitely enjoy this one. This is more of the same. It's like I think I said in one of these episodes, it almost, as much as I enjoyed this trip and it was exactly what I needed, and just to feel the freedom of the US and get out of Canada for a bit, one of the biggest pieces was just getting Chase onto the podcast. And that means so much to me because he's, my best friend, and he's so funny, and it's just, I really enjoy doing these things with him. And it took, a long time to get him comfortable enough on here, but now he's just an old hat at the podcast game. Now he's done more podcasts than probably 99.9% of the world has, just these 3. So I'm excited to get him on the podcast more, but just to not skip over that so quickly, but just, I hope I can do a good enough job of explaining to you guys how impactful that trip to the US was in so many levels. Like, not just the fun and the laughs that we have, but just to sit in a restaurant or in a bar with normal people living normal lives, when in Canada, it's just not, you cannot escape the reminders of everybody trying to force you to be scared and to force you to comply in all these different ways. And I know everyone just says, oh, it's a mask, or it's this, or it's that, and you had a choice, and it's not. And I think so many people that have been stuck so far within this, you lose perspective on what the world used to be and what it would be and what it could be and what it is in so many other parts of the world except ours. And I just can't even find the right words to explain how impactful that was, just to sit there and to breathe in freedom and to see people smile and to not be scared to touch hands or to bump into somebody. It was just amazing. And another part of it is just I never realized how I've been to a lot of the States and travel a lot. I'm very fortunate in that aspect, but I'd never driven around like that, and that is such a different beast. Traveling in an RV is something that I think a lot more people should do. We did a lot of fun stuff on this trip, and I think probably the highlight of the whole thing was just the driving and the beautiful views and the things that we saw. And I never would have guessed that. I would have thought I'd be the kind of guy that was just, excited to get to the next place, to do the next thing. And honestly, the driving was the funnest part, which really surprised me, but it probably shouldn't have if I would have given it, a little bit of a second thought. So yeah. I'm excited to get back doing these episodes, getting back in the rhythm, getting some more guests on, doing some more solo podcasts. That was really impactful for all the messages I got from people, just all of a sudden out of the blue, just saying, hey, I really like the solo episodes. I haven't seen one in a while. Can you get one of those going on? I know a lot of people reached out. They wanted to get my thoughts on the Freedom Convoy and all these things. And I'll definitely be doing a solo episode in the next couple of days to talk about all that. And it was, amazing to see. It was amazing and frustrating at the same time a little bit. And I think it's just, that's very selfish, but I'll be honest about it. But to feel like I've been, felt like I was on an island fighting and bringing all these things up and trying to show the hypocrisy and how this wasn't following science, and it never did, and how this was about power and theater for so many months, and to be ridiculed and ostracized, and to feel like you're on an island. It's bittersweet to now see everybody starting to stand up. It's amazing. It's exactly what I wanted. But also there's definitely a little part of me, and maybe not that little part of me, that says, well, fucking, it's about time, guys. Like, fuck, come on. I've been, out here feeling like I'm just taking arrows for everybody. And then, like, I'm so happy that finally push came to shove and people stood up. But it's like, man, how was that point not months, if not years ago, for so many people? But you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. You got to take it what it is. And I was so happy to see people standing up and to see exactly what everybody knew had happened, the media trying to spin it. And what's so sad to me is all my friends from university, and well, not all my friends, but every female friend from university, it seems like, and I hate to draw that line, but that's just what I'm seeing. And it's not just, it's everyone that really bought into that university hook, line, and sinker that are so desperate to hold on to the narrative that they have, that they take these, like they're just posting, if you're in a convoy with a Nazi flag, you know you're in the wrong spot, leave, and all this, don't support it. It's like, so then any cause has to do, even if it's, so the Black Lives Matter march, that someone brought one Nazi flag into a protest of hundreds of thousands of people, you just have to ditch the whole thing and now it's all racist. Do you not realize how stupid that is? Like, it is so unconscionable to allow yourself to be that weak-minded and to allow these powerful businesses and powerful corporations and powerful governments to take the smallest little pieces and blow them up and to change, or to try and change people's minds on something they know to be true. Do you know Canadians to be violent? Do you know Canadians to be racist? Have you lived here your whole life? Does that really strike a chord with you? Does that not seem off? Do you not see them cleaning up all the garbage? Do you not see them doing amazing things? Do you not see all the amazing stories come out, but you just blind yourself to it because you want to believe what you believe for the last 2 years, that this is all for the right thing and you're on the right side? And I understand all the psychology that goes in behind it, and I try to have compassion, but it's tough when it's so clear and has been the same playbook over and over and over again. You try and make them racist, you try and make them sexist, you try and make them this, you try and make them that, and it's frustrating to see. But I think that is a drop in the bucket. I think those people are just very vocal and they post things and they're activists and they want to post all these things, and 99% of people that are so proud of what people are doing, that they're standing up, are doing so. And that makes me really happy. And what surprised the hell out of me was the appreciation from the US. Every time we said we were from Canada, everyone almost got a tear in their eye and stopped us and just said, thank you so much for what you guys are doing up there. We're so proud of you. You guys need to stand up. You're changing minds down here. You're doing so amazing. And just to see that. And I think, if you're maybe have been supporting this, that's good for you to hear too, because it was good for me to hear, and to know that you're not alone, and there's a lot of people around the world that are super proud of what's going on here, and that we're finally standing up. And just the things like GoFundMe, trying to take people's donations and stepping in like that, and just the tyranny that shows, the emergency, the War Act, like so much of this is showing what side of history this is going to be seen through. And you never know that for sure, but there's so many red flags around to even make you stop and ask a few questions and maybe just quiet yourself to say, maybe I don't have this right, which I have done a million times. I've seen so many things throughout this pandemic that, maybe this is, I hear something that, sounds pretty reasonable. A guy like Sam Harris, who I think is really bright, and I'll listen to him, and then I go do some research and I find, okay, I see where he's coming from, and that maybe tempers but I don't know. I just see so many people so desperate to jump on just the weak, like that, all those posts and those memes that people are showing about, if there's one Nazi flag or one Confederate flag, it shows the whole thing. It's like, if that's the rationale, if that's the power of your arguments, do you really want to be that loud that you want to be the one carrying that flag and posting about it and making your whole identity about it? Because that's pretty weak logic and pretty weak reasoning. And yeah. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I'll do some solo podcasts on all that and all my feelings and everything that goes on. But, and apology, everyone was I got a lot of messages from people, hey, you're being really quiet on this, but I was just enjoying myself. I feel like I've been trying to bring all this stuff to light and really trying to bring people to resources, because why are you listening to me? I'm a fucking idiot. But, I've been pointing you to really good evolutionary biologists and doctors that have a way better idea on this, that you can just read it for yourself and take it what you will. Maybe you don't believe in it. Maybe you poke holes in it like Swiss cheese. That is completely your right. But I'm just trying to point people to it. And to do that for that long, this trip was kind of my break away from it. I didn't want to dive into it and force Chase to sit down and talk to me about this shit he doesn't care about. That just wasn't going to be that. Now that I'm back, I fully plan on talking all about it and letting you guys know exactly my thoughts on it, where it went too far, because I do think it goes too far. Blocking the borders, what the fuck was that about? Like, that makes no sense, right? Some of this shit, blocking bridges in Edmonton, like, that makes no fucking sense. What are you doing, right? Like, I have no problem calling out the bullshit when I see it, but overall, to demonize what people are doing, these brave people that are standing up against tyranny, and to call them racist and terrorists and all these other words that I've been called for being unvaccinated for so long, is just nonsense. And I'm very proud to be Canadian for the first time in a long time. And I think there's a lot of people that feel that way. And yeah, other than that, do all those things I always ask you to do. Follow the Von Dovecast, share these posts, pass it on to a friend, reach out if you enjoyed it, reach out to Chase, tell him you enjoyed it if you saw him, and all those things. Other than that, just have a great week, and I will see you again soon. Hopefully this week, maybe next week, we'll see. But there's going to be lots of episodes coming. So thanks, guys. See you on the next one. Boom diggity. Road trip re-evaluation. No, that's not the word. What's the word? Recap?
Are we doing 2 separate episodes? Because this might just be like the...
If we don't, yeah, if we'll just start from where we left off last time, because everyone only got to hear the first, like, pretty much to Cannon Beach. No, the one night after Cannon Beach, before the really fun day.
Because I have really big family day plans to get to.
You do have some really big plans to get to, so that's why I figured we just rip, and then we have an episode to put out. If we like only make it to like Texas or something, we could always hop back on at a later date and catch everybody up with the rest. I love how your toque is so squished under those headphones.
I was going to say, I probably look goofy as shit right now.
You do. I wish this had a video component to it. Oh,
this would be my persona if I was a DJ. I'd always wear a toque, bunch it up.
Shove it under those headphones.
Shove it under the headphones. Can I go under? Can I go over the headphones?
I don't know. You tell me.
I think it looks good.
I think it looks great. I think you're selling yourself short.
Is the pom-pom on the front or the back?
Front.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, that's a good look. That's a good look.
Pom-pom unicorn.
How was it to get your first night back in the house?
It was good.
Yeah?
It was good.
Rem dog was fired up?
You know what, though? I didn't have my pillow. So I didn't sleep as good at home as I did in the RV. The pillow is 90% of my sleeping. I need that pillow or else I can't.
You sleep like a rock with that pillow.
Oh, man, that pillow.
You slept through some shit in that RV.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wind that last night?
I didn't really sleep through that. That was crazy.
The whole fucking RV was shaking.
Yeah. That wind got me in the morning, too.
Yeah. I was so scared to start driving that day because, like, probably for those guys listening, like, we saw a little bit of snow, a little bit of rain, like a little bit of weather. But probably the rankest thing we saw the whole time was the wind. In that, like, RV with that much surface area, when you caught the wind, it would throw you around.
Oh, yeah.
So the last night we slept in Montana before we made the rest of the pull up to Alberta, overnight, the whole RV was just rocking in the wind. Super loud, super crazy. We're like both in the morning. Chase went in to take a piss in the gas station in the morning, and all the truck drivers are talking about it. And yeah, we were a little bit scared to get rolling. But we did it.
Oh, yeah.
We did it.
The RV is tough, sometimes tough to handle in the wind.
It is, yeah.
Especially if you go like past a semi or through like an overpass or underpass where it blocks the wind. Yeah. So you're steering almost at like a 45-degree angle, so it sucks you back in and then just swats you when you come out. It sucks.
Oh my God. You're like trying to make a pass with all the wind pushing you right into the guy beside you. No bueno.
No good.
No bueno. So the last episode we did, we got through Cannon Beach, Remy seen the ocean, then we made it down the coast to where we recorded that episode, which was just somewhere in Oregon. Where are those sand dunes?
Yeah, we were camping by some sand dunes, which were pretty crazy. I'm not like a big sand dune ATV guy, but we still went out and walked there. It's
not
huge,
a big dune head.
Not a dune guy.
But like, yeah, so we're just, and we didn't really see the dunes at first. All we saw were like the rental places for like side-by-sides, quads, like dune buggies kind of things. And then like where we stayed that night, where did we?
We stayed at that little campsite where that old couple.
But remember, at one point we went for a walk and we walked out to the dunes and saw some people ripping out. Was that same walk we did that morning on the lake?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we woke up that morning after you guys heard, if you've been following along, wake up that morning. There was a nice, beautiful hike around this little lake thing at the campsite. So we started that, got Rem dogs for a good walk. We went and saw the actual sand dunes. They're massive. I think it's just all the wind coming off the ocean must just dune up a bunch of sand over there.
Dune it up.
Just dunes it up.
Dunes it up.
I think that's a word. And then, went for that nice walk, got back on the road and just started driving down the coast and saw all these beautiful little fishing places. You were talking about all the, what's your salmon shows you watch?
Tuna, wicked tuna, and battlefish. They're all like filmed off the coast of Oregon. Yeah. So we went through like these Fairbanks and a couple other ones where all those like the fishermen are from and they dock. And we even saw like one of those, like a big fisherman's wharf where they come in and sell the tuna, like a big fish place.
Oh, what do you call the place where they do the cores of the tuna to see how good it is, like the grading? We saw one of those things.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like a big, like, I don't know, a fish dispensary or like
dispensary.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's something like that.
They
I know the word
tuna.
They do. No, they take in tuna. They don't dispense it.
Yeah, then they sell it to like restaurants and shit. That's the point of doing the core sample is like, okay, are we sending this to Hell's Kitchen or are we sending this to Bob's Kitchen?
You guys just wait till we Bob's Kitchen, Bob's Burgers. Yeah, so we're seeing all these and like super cool. I saw some of those like where they work on the ships, where they have them like out of the water on those big like stands and stuff. That was pretty cool. Like cool little town after cool little town. Just trying to decide where we're going to stop for, the next fish and chip review. And it was quite the morning. Chase was, dealing with some stuff, trying to sell his house back in Pickerville at that point. He was pretty busy that morning. I was driving and then got to where... What city was that?
We were in, I think it was Lincoln City.
Lincoln City, that's exactly what it was.
So
you can take it over.
Nick drives the morning. I'd been dealing with some stuff back home, so I'm having a stressful day.
He's stressed
So
out.
you drive a few hours, and then I take over, and we get into this little Lincoln City.
These cities are tight. Like it's on the coast.
They're not really
small roads.
City is an overstatement.
For sure.
Like fishing towns.
Yeah.
So we're driving through this fishing town. My mind's kind of jumbled with what's going on in the morning. I'm kind of focusing on the road, and it's a double lane, but kind of tighter in the middle.
Yeah.
And Nick is having a little passenger seat snack, and it's a slice of bologna. But imagine you're like eating a sandwich with one hand on either side of the sandwich, and he's just nibbling bologna like a
That's how I like to eat my bologna. I like to nibble.
A little mouse. Like it looks like a little bologna mouse.
Tiny bites at a time.
A little bologna mouse. So I kind of like give him a little like side eye look.
Like, what the fuck are you doing, you idiot?
But like it's like a little bit longer than it should have been. Probably like a 2-3 second look. And in that 3 seconds, the motorhome slightly drifted over to the left, and then just happened to be passing a bigger truck with a tow mirror, and you just hear a smack, a little smack, and I'm like, oh fuck, that sounded bad. But as soon as I looked over, all you see is just the side view mirror just dangling.
The glass
is shattered, dangling from these like wires that handle the. And so we lost a mirror.
Yeah, and
because Nick eats bologna weird.
Yeah, and
not my fault.
Completely
at all.
my fault, 100%. I shouldn't have been eating bologna like I ate bologna. What an idiot. So then it's
and it's kind of busy. So I'm like looking back at the truck that I just smacked the mirrors with, thinking like,
should we try
and stop here? And then you eventually get far enough where I'm like, okay, I'm not stopping. I'm getting away. Like, let's just deal with our own mirror. I don't want to deal with this other guy's bullshit.
Well, we kind of made it far enough to like where we could turn off. Turned into a parking lot. Just we have a dangling mirror hanging on the side of our unit. We got to figure this out. And keep in mind, Chase has had a pretty frustrating morning. And for me, I'm trying not to laugh. Not successfully. I was laughing pretty good.
But for me, you have to understand, I have a perfect driving record.
I know.
I just got accident forgiveness. Like I'm stacking up these good credits, and then here I go and do this bullshit. And
some idiot's eating bologna.
So I was so mad and embarrassed.
Yeah. And I think, definitely mad, definitely embarrassed. But then I was making it worse by far because it's so entertaining because you're so unrattleable. You never get rattled by anything. So anytime you get slightly frustrated, even though like, you were still laughing. Like it wasn't like you're being that bad, but just even that for you was crazy. So I am just enjoying the fuck out of it. I'm having so much fun because I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care. I was like, we'll fix it. Whatever. It's not me. It's so funny that it wasn't me because that is 9 times out of 10, that would be reversed. It would be me hitting the mirror and you would be laughing at me and making fun of me. So it was like the one time I just had to soak all the glory up of it. So we tried to, we just did a little bit of Googling, right? We tried to find some like RV mechanics there.
And
So
then we ended up going just like
so we look up this RV mechanic. We're driving through this residential area in this big RV. Mirror dang. Oh yeah. So I had to rip the wires off the mirror just to get it off. So we have nothing sitting there. We go to this first.
Put it back together with zip ties.
No, not yet. First we went to that mechanic,
right,
and it's just some dude's house. I'm like, okay, well this is just weird. We're not going to some dude's house. We type in another one. We go there, right? Frustration mounting at this point, right? Because it's just a little bit quiet in the RV. Well, other than my giggles, probably. Then we get to this other one, and it's kind of in a residential area. We're like, okay, what is this? But it's again tiny little fishing towns. So we get to this place, and there's a guy working in this little shop.
Joe Buck's RV. Or something.
Yeah, exactly. And he's working on shit, just kind of on the shop attached to his house. And he's like, oh, I'll get to you in a minute. And we're just sitting there probably for like 10, 15 minutes. And he's on the phone. So I just kind of walked away and grabbed the zip ties that Chase made fun of me for packing. When are we going to need zip ties? I take the shattered piece of glass and zip tie it. Put a bunch of zip ties
I was kind of scared watching you pack those zip ties. I didn't know what you were going to try and do to me.
Hey, well, get out of hand. Hey, it's a long trip. There's no girls with us. Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So yeah, we just kind of walked out, and then as we're zip tying it back together, then the mechanic walks out. He's laughing his ass off as he walks up to us. He's like, "What you idiots do?" We're like, "Oh, I just clipped a little mirror." And he's like, "Yeah." He pretty much said, "You're kind of fucked." He's like, "Call ahead to one, like AutoZone or whatever in a town ahead, and you might be able to get it." So we just kind of said, "Let's just get out of this godforsaken town. Fuck Lincoln City. We don't like."
I was like tripping out a little bit, thinking this guy in the truck was going to stalk us down,
right.
Us, and we have to fight this guy. Mm-hmm. But he was probably in the same boat as us, because I don't think I was that far over the line. No,
exactly. I think it was a bit of
I
mixed,
think we both kind of drifted and it was just shit timing and just clunk.
And the difference is he probably didn't have any damage at all because truck mirrors fold, right? When that they're designed
maybe just a little dent or cut on the outside.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we got definitely the worst of it. So we, have our zip tied back on mirror, and it worked. But it was real shattered, and you kind of had to crouch down real hard.
You had to use the blind spot, little corner.
Yeah, that was now our mirror,
little bulgy mirror. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and I offered. I said, "Did you want me to drive?" No, fuck you. So we head down the coast into. I think that's when we got into California.
Yeah, Crescent City.
Yeah. So it's like Northern California. Just got in.
The first city on the PCH of California.
See you, Ingo. Bye. Ingo's sending me nice blowing kisses through the window. He's heading to Slaver. That was our nice goodbye there.
Nick and Ingo blowing kisses.
Blowing kisses. It's just that German love. Very loving people. We really show our we really show our emotions. We tell each other how we feel. Yeah. No, that's us. So we get into Crescent City, and went to like AutoZone, went to a couple like. AutoZone didn't have it, so then they sent us to this other little store that's kind of a weird everything store. They didn't have it, so we just kind of hopped online, looked up, we can order it on Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon.
So we're just like, okay, let's just, when we get to Fraser's, who's, our other buddy, he's been on the podcast. He was in San Fran. That was the first stop we're trying to get to. When we get to Fraser's, we'll hop on the computer, we'll order the glass. Who cares? Let's just get some food in us. We took Remy for a little burn, threw some Frisbee with it. Oh my God. No, this was after. Remember what happened with the Frisbee in Crescent City?
Oh, and I hucked it over the fence.
Yeah, and I had to go, and like anybody listening from Slave Lake right knows that I was known for being bad at climbing fences. I have so many stories of like eating shit trying to climb a fence.
I don't think I've ever climbed a fence in my life.
Well, you're doing better than me because I'm like 3 for 15 in lifetime fence climbing. Clearly, I'm a lot better at it now because I know you tried to climb the fence first. It's like, I don't want to climb this fence. You're like,
then I boosted you, kind of.
Then you boosted me, yeah. And then we got over into this.
Because I'm real strong.
Real strong. Wow.
It was like some like aquatic animal emergency vet center, like for dolphins and orcas and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And we could hear like sea lions or something over there. I was trying to find them. Anyway, so we're, having an interesting day to say the least. So we go to this.
Something brewery.
Yeah. I keep thinking Pelican Brewery, but that was the good place.
I wish I could remember.
Oh man, this place.
It was so unmemorable that it doesn't even.
It was
fucking
like
matter.
Terrible, and I'm such a I don't really care. I'm like my dad. If I get something like a burger, I usually don't complain. But a burger's a burger.
Still blows kiss to the waitress.
Exactly.
Just like his dad.
So we order fish and chips for the fish and chip review, but honestly, I don't even want to do a fish and chip review. It was like just. The fish and chips were bad. The fries are bad.
There was no coleslaw.
There's no sauce.
So how am I supposed to grade that? It's zero off the hop.
Yeah.
You're missing an element.
If someone brought that plate to Chef Ramsay, he wouldn't even. That's one of those ones where he's like, "I'm not even going to taste this."
Yeah,
just throws it in the garbage.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
He'd say, "My grandma is better than this, and she's dead."
Idiot sandwich. So we just are having just a day, and we, let's just get on the road. Let's crush some miles because it. Other than that, the drive was beautiful. Like, other than the incidents and the fuck around, and we'd already figured out a plan, so it was kind of over. And at this point, once we got food in us, that was when Chase kind of.
I saw we could order it on Amazon. I'm like, fine, fuck it.
So then it became funny again because I think until then, even if jokes were funny, it wasn't funny at that point. you know that feeling, just that tension in the air. But then after that, so we hop back on the road and. Started cruising back down the coast of California through some...
We end up in the Redwood Forest.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. No, first we went and stopped and we got some Happy Dad seltzers. I was pretty pumped about that. In Eureka, California. But that was kind of a sketchy little town or city. That was a city, but yeah, we just had a bad feeling.
It was bad vibes.
Yeah, bad vibes. Indeed.
Vibes.
Yeah,
Other than the Happy Dads, it was not
good vibes. So we found a Walmart we're going to stay in, but it was just... sketchier and shit. And we're like, let's
Is that like the backside of this mall?
Yeah,
Like
it was so
shopping
weird.
cart? That guy wandering around the parking lot, like
that guy on the skateboard.
Yeah, me and Nick thought we were gonna have to get out and tune this guy in. He was really bugging this lady, but then she ended up just like
giving him some cash.
And he left her alone. But like,
we were sitting
like,
away.
we were sitting. We're like, we were gonna drive away, and we're like, okay, let's just watch this guy.
Yeah, make sure nothing happens here, because this weirdo that we walked by a couple times. He's on a skateboard, clearly drugged out of his tree, right?
Yeah.
Which no judgment, give her, but as long as you're not bugging people, Eureka,
baby.
So then we're like, let's not stay here. Let's just see how far we can. We'll find somewhere to pull over. So then, Chase is driving still, and we're going through these like ginormous trees through the redwoods, and like we've been driving pretty late. It's probably 9, 10 at night. It's all dark now at this point, and we're thinking, let's find somewhere to park. Not because we couldn't do more miles, but just it's so cool and so beautiful. We want to see it in the daylight. So we type in this RV park, and it starts taking us off. And do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
right. This RV park, and we're following the directions. It's taking us
this
to these
weird little like single lane highway.
and like with giant redwood trees, like literally on the side, like it goes pavement.
They
Pavement,
had little reflectors on the tree, so that you had to like
avoid them with your
get
mirrors.
in the middle of the road.
Yeah. If we were going to lose a mirror other than in Lincoln City, it probably would have been on that road. And it's, getting scary. Nick was playing some scary music on the speakers. Chase didn't like it. It was too spooky.
No, I didn't like it.
So we get there, and then the place is closed too. So we get back on, and then we're just ripping down the highway. We just see a little bit of a rest stop. We just pulled over right there, got a couple drinks in us, and got the dog out for a little walk, and just slept on the side of the road in California in the redwood forest.
That was kind of cool.
That was cool. Anything else we missed on that day? That was a pretty eventful day.
No, that was
a good one. That was a good one. So then next morning, wake up pretty early, because there's not much we can do, have a pee outside. We thought we could walk down to this little river, but it turned out just to be another like kind of access road. Took Remy for a little walk. Then we got back on the road and started crushing down. That was when we started going down the coast.
Yeah, that was when we got on. It was the start of Highway 1.
Yes.
And we were like right at the start of Highway 1 when we parked. We didn't really realize that. But like we drove for 5 minutes on this main road. Then it was like an exit to Highway 1 that takes you like even more west right to the coast.
Yeah, which is probably one of the craziest drives we did the whole time.
That was a tight little drive too.
So like if anybody listens has done the road to Hana in Hawaii, it's like similar, like kind of windy, lots of hills, lots of elevation gain, tight. Like some of the corners you're taking, it was actually a point.
Well, I guess it depends which way you're going, but we were losing elevation because we were going towards the
coast.
Because you remember when we got to the coast, how the brakes stunk?
Oh,
because I was just riding the brakes.
But that was
because it was downhill.
But I think we gained, because that was probably a couple hours of that drive. I think we were gaining as we're going, and then lost as we were going towards the coast. Yeah.
But yeah, I remember the brakes stunk real bad.
Yeah, they reeked. I'm getting more waves by from my mom. Oh, it's just so cute. There's just so much love in the air. I'm just like our Valentine's Day.
It's family day.
It is family day. Wow. We're bad people. And you're not. You're doing you're going to have a great family day.
Big family day events.
So then, we're driving through just this crazy little road. I shouldn't say we. Chase drove this whole thing. And we finally come out of this just crazy drive through the redwood, and it opens up on the coast, like this beautiful cliffside. And we stop for a pee, and there's this weird van with like these voodoo dolls outside of it.
Very like tribal voodoo looking. If you ever seen that one Pirates of the Caribbean movie where like
very
Captain Jack becomes like the like leader of that tribe and all their deck. It literally looked like that. I thought I was going to see Captain Jack sitting there in his tree all tatted up.
Yeah.
But it was and he was just in a weird little camper, and it was parked there at this rest stop on the coast.
Yeah. So we hopped out, took some nice pictures, I think, let Remy have a pee.
He went and pissed on one of those guys' voodoo dolls.
Probably. That was probably the curse, or broke the curse of the mirror.
Yeah.
Maybe it cursed us. Who knows? And then we're driving down this beautiful PCH, the one down the coast, and it's on your left is beautiful green rolling hills, like and cows, and almost reminded me of like Ireland. What?
Just cows.
What's so funny about cows, you asshole?
There's cows.
I meant the landscape of just. I'm trying to paint a picture here, asshole. And then off the right, it's just beautiful coastline, huge rocks, like just one of the nicest drives I've ever seen. And then Chase is still driving at this point, because I offered to drive at that point, but you were still driving.
I had to get that mirror knock out of my system.
Yeah, you had to put in some miles.
I had to take some tough drive there.
Yeah. So then he's driving like this just beautiful drive, and it's kind of ghost town when we first get on, because it's I think the only way to access it is kind of either through that forest we just drove through, which is pretty rank, or up the coast down this road. But normally people don't come this far north. So it's pretty dead, like at the start.
More cows than people.
More cows than people. Cows? What? Cows? Ooh, cows. Ooh. So then we start getting into more busyness, right? Like we're getting into kind of, I think, where more of the Californians will go up for like a day trip or like a little bit of a, just a little vacation. But
like
it's
an hour north of San Francisco.
Kind of. Yeah. If you take the interstates, but like
for sure.
And that was when like the interstates were kind of connecting up with it. That's probably why it's way more busy, right? Yeah. And we're in this tight little town trying to find somewhere to eat, and it was just
brutal.
It was getting a little frustrating. We needed gas and we needed food, and it was so tight. But we got a.
Or said, let's get the fuck out of here.
What did we get for food there? Did we
Nothing.
stop?
No,
we didn't.
We were going to go to that restaurant, and we stopped for gas. I'm like, nah, fuck, let's just keep going.
Just kept going.
It's bullshit.
But you were starving. Where did we eat? We didn't go all the way to Fraser's.
Yeah, we did.
Are you sure?
Positive.
That doesn't sound like us.
Positive.
Do you cook a burrito in the microwave or something?
Nope.
Wow.
Nothing.
Wow.
We just kept going.
You're a warrior.
I am.
I can't believe you survived that.
We pulled over, caught a cow.
You're an asshole. So then I hopped in at that point. We're crushing more down the PCH. I fucked up, missed a turn, I think, and ended up taking us onto the interstate. So because the plan was to take that coast road all the way into San Fran, but probably, I don't know, maybe half hour outside.
No, you wanted to catch the Oilers game. So you just wanted the fast route.
It was accidental. I didn't mean to take the fast route. It was complete accident. I just am kind of an airhead, and I'm just I'm looking at all the cows and all the rolling hills, and ended up. What'd you do?
My elbow.
Hit your elbow? Oh my God. Okay, this is skipping ahead a bit, but I just want to talk about it because your elbow. How bad was your wreck the morning of the last day?
Yeah, that sucked.
Holy fuck.
That sucked.
Okay, I'm gonna tell the story from my perspective, and then you can maybe add in what really happened.
Okay.
So, Chase is the last morning. We're in Great Falls, Montana.
Is that really fucking
real
windy
fucking
morning?
windy? Yeah, we're just kind of trying to get on the road because we want to be able to take it as slow as we need for this win. And Chase goes to take Remy out in the morning. We've done this every morning, nothing strange about it. And the stairs are kind of all covered in shoes because we're kind of gross dudes and we just got the RV kind of messy and it's all a bit of a cluster on the couple steps down. And Remy, when he wants to go out, once you put the leash on him, he wants to go. So Chase opens the door and is trying to go down these stairs, and Remy pulls him a little bit, and he kind of slips on the stair, and he hit his head on the side of the door frame so fucking hard. Oh my God, like the noise it made. I thought you were going to be knocked out, dude.
I kind of felt a little woozy. Like when I gave you the leash, I'm like, you need to hold this leash.
So I thought you hit like your arm or something because the noise it made was like
I hit my arm a little bit, but the head I think took the brunt of it.
But the noise was so loud. I was like, that can't have been his head. But then when you went down, like you just kind of crouched down, you're just holding the leash. You're like, can you take the leash? That was my head. I was like, no. So I just grabbed it. I'm in my underwear, standing freezing, like, just holding the dog outside because I have no shoes, no clothes on. I'm just standing there. And oh man, so you come in, you have a giant goose egg on your arm, huge thing on your hand. Anyway, yeah. So that was probably the worst wreck of the trip.
No.
Think?
It was probably the most painful.
For sure.
But it wasn't the best.
It wasn't for sure. But we won't, we'll save that one because that one's part of a larger story. That one just kind of popped in. But yeah, that was a bad wreck. That was the worst. Yeah. Most injury.
Like I can feel the headphone on my goosebump right now.
Yeah, I bet you can. Holy shit. I haven't seen a goosebump like that since I was in like grade 6 or something. Someone taking a baseball bat to the noggin. Anyway.
It was like a peach.
Like a peach. Where were we? Oh yeah, so we're driving. So then we're driving in and then we start getting into like the San Fran traffic. And it is wild. Chase had, I think, a Pacifico in his hand already at this point. He was celebrating getting a CFO already. And we're just like that was our first taste of like real America traffic. Like it was, how many lanes do you think it was? Like 8? Maybe 5, 6. Yeah. Like
5 or 6 lanes
of just
pretty bumper to bumper. Steady.
Right. In this RV.
Wasn't that, it was moving pretty good.
It was, though. Yeah. And it was just kind of, some of the first city driving we had to do. We did a little bit in Portland, I guess, on our way through.
Yeah.
But it was pretty quick in and out. It wasn't for as wasn't as long of a duration as that. So we pull in, find FO's place, take a few wrong turns, ended up on this hill because everything's so goddamn hilly there.
Yeah.
We pull into FO's. He walks out and we're trying to figure out somewhere to park it. We find a place kind of down the street just next to this. I don't know what it was.
It's not a park. It's just a little green area.
Yeah, a little green area that like is for like some sort of drainage or something. Like it wasn't
think it's
even
just the start of a forest.
I don't think so. I don't think there's much for forest in Hayward, California.
Yeah, but if you go behind FO's house there's no more houses. Like he was kind of the...
Because it's like the tip of the hill and then it rolls over and then you're going to be residential again, I would imagine. No? Maybe. I don't know. I guess
there's a lot of deers there, so I don't know.
Lots of dirt. Lots of dirt there?
Yeah.
There's a lot of dirt there. Speaking of deer, how fucking small are the deer down there?
Pretty small.
They're tiny.
They're tiny deers.
Maybe Alberta just has big fucking thick-ass deer.
Well, I read somewhere that deers are smaller in warmer climates because they don't need as much insulation in the air.
Wow. Right? You read that somewhere,
Yeah,
eh?
I read that in a book.
National Geographic,
Deer
I'm
book.
sure. Deer book. Deer Weekly. You subscribe? Magazine?
Yeah.
Oh, anyway. So we park, finally get to CFO, which was probably, one of our biggest highlights. Probably seeing FO and the fights and all that were kind of the big highlights of the trip. So we were fired up to see him.
Well, after spending like 2 weeks in an RV with just dudes, to see like his girlish figure and like
for sure
something that is just a little change
something to stare at, right?
Yeah,
a little eye candy.
Yeah,
100%. Exactly. That's what I meant. Thank you for clarifying.
Yes,
that's what I meant. God, he does have a girlish figure. Hey, that little,
he does.
That little fairy. So he comes out. We figure out a place to park. Roll into his awesome fucking place. His place was sick. Hey. So like,
it's a good, like you couldn't ask for a better like college house.
Yeah, yeah. Like if we had that in Edmonton here, the parties we would have threw.
Yeah.
So it's like this giant blue 3-story place overlooking like the whole Bay Area.
You can see downtown San Fran if it's not smoggy as fuck like it was every day there.
Yeah. But apparently we have no way to prove this, but apparently you can see to San Fran. Mm-hmm. So we roll in. FO introduces us to his girlfriend, which was a surprise to us. I don't think we knew that going in, which isn't all that strange because we don't usually talk.
No.
We're dudes. We don't usually talk about shit. Anyway, she was awesome. His roommates were sick. Like, so much fun already. You could tell, like, this is going to be a
Ivan
pretty
was
fun
a good
night.
dude.
Yeah, Ivan was a real good dude. Really liked him. And then a couple of his other roommates weren't really home. So we kind of had rule of the roost. Rule of the roost. Look at you go. You should be a poet.
I'm just saying that for clout, man.
Oh my God. My guts hurt already. So then, we kind of roll in, got a shower in us, which was awesome. Took some showers in FO's little shack there and got ready to go through some half decent clothes on and got some beers in us. I think we maybe watched a couple games, a little bit of hockey or something before. Watched the end of the Leafs game and the Oilers game.
Maybe. Yeah. The Leafs were playing someone and the Oilers were playing the Habs.
Yeah. So we watched that clusterfuck. That was probably the most hockey we watched that whole trip because
I think we streamed the one Oilers game, but I don't remember when.
Yeah, me neither. I think that
was the Washington Capitals game.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Anyway.
So then we're drinking, we're having a good time, and we go. Where do we go first?
We go to Chris and Carl's house.
Chris and Carl.
They have a place like pretty interior San Fran, kind of down in the thick of things.
So first of all, so FO's girlfriend drives us down there, and there's a wreck on one of the bridges, and it was like crazy traffic.
You could have walked across the bridge faster.
Probably, yeah. Which is pretty. I don't know, for a couple, Westlock, Slave Lake, Alberta boys. You don't see a lot of that kind of traffic. Me and you were kind of, sitting there with our eyes wide open. FO and her just be like, what? This happens all the time. Like, what are you guys looking at? But yeah, so get there, meet Chris and Carl. Carl and Chase just have a huge bromance immediately.
No, Chris.
Sorry.
Old Bay.
Yes, Old Bay.
Old Bay Chris, baby.
Old Bay Chris. Oh, I love Old Bay Chris.
So this like spice I use all the time, like because I'm a big seafood guy. I use Old Bay spice. And Chris is a rugby player that is in Fraser's program, and he's from Delaware, where apparently didn't know this, where the Old Bay spice like kind of originated.
Yeah,
so he has.
They're very proud of it.
He has like the biggest tin of Old Bay I've ever seen, and he's like, he is stoked that I'm stoked. I have Old Bay in the RV, like bro down about this Old Bay.
It was so important that when I said I had never had Old Bay, he definitely gave me a huge fingerful to try.
It's good though, right?
But yeah, so we're there for I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, just having some drinks. We had that Howlerhead whiskey too, which was real good. Going down probably too good at that point. So we're just slugging on this.
Better than it came up, for sure.
Yeah, definitely better than it came up. We'll get there. Oh boy, yeah. The rest of this night is now catching up to me. So yeah, we're drinking this Howlerhead. We're enjoying these. Like these two guys are a ton of fun. We're talking football. They were so much fun. Like just. And this is what I thought was a testament to Fraser, because I'm not surprised at all, because Fraser's such a good dude. I was like, of course he has this wicked group of friends already down there that are really good people and like lots of fun, right? He's just that kind of guy. He's going to attract those people, right? So I wasn't that surprised, but it was just, you don't know what you're going to expect, and we're just having a great night of ice. And then like, we're going to go to this party. And me and Chase, we don't care, we're just coming along. So we leave with Chris and Carl to go to this party.
Carl had already went there. Carl left well before the rest of us.
Right.
And we stayed at their place with Chris. He was,
right,
showing us his old bay and shit.
Yeah.
And Carl went to this party.
Yeah. So then he calls. He's like, "Yeah, come to this party. It's sick." So we roll into this party, pretty cut already, probably. Right? I probably had half that bottle of Howlerhead at this point.
I think the Howlerhead was gone.
No, the last bit of it was drank at that party, because that was, So we roll into this party, and it's in this like beautiful house downtown San Fran.
Beautiful townhome,
and if anybody understands, San Fran, the real estate there is so wild that like a little studio apartment's going to cost you an arm and a leg. So to have a place like this, we're like, where are we rolling into, right? And I don't think that occurred to me until we were already inside and saw that kind of the crowd of it. I didn't think anything of it, just going into a house. And then we got in there and it was like, oh, we're a little out of place here.
It was like a birthday party, but girls were wearing dresses, and
it reminded me of like, not 90210, that's what I want to say, but I've never seen that. So I'm going to go with like the OC, because I don't know if you ever watched that show.
Absolutely not.
Oh man, I love that show. I've seen it multiple times. Fucking Marissa's my girl.
The OC.
The OC, dude. It's a really good show.
Is that the one with Drake?
No, that's what is that one? He's in a wheelchair. I never saw Degrassi something. I think it maybe be more to that name, but anyway, it reminded me of the OC when they go to like these crazy parties, and like it's just like
it was just very like upscale.
And the thing was, what was so weird to me was not one person in that whole house was unattractive. Like almost weirdly,
except for me
and me. Yeah, we were definitely bringing down the average in there. We roll in, but like. So we roll in, and we're kind of in this living room area with the birthday girl, and she was really nice. Like, I don't know if it's her place.
She came in and was very welcoming.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Chatted with her, whatever.
And me and you, we don't give a fuck who's around. We're just trying to make each other laugh the whole time. And I think that was like a common theme throughout this trip of just me and you, like meeting new people, not giving a fuck, and just trying to make each other laugh, and everyone be like, "Oh, these guys are awesome, right? They're funny." So she was having a good time with us. But then there was the other section of the party that was like the kitchen, and like. Nobody came out to see it. Like
I didn't dare go in the kitchen.
Me neither. Man. Fuck that. They were too attractive. They were too good. Like I was scared. I spit roasted. Yeah.
Thought I was a jester. Hey, sir, can you cook us dinner, please?
Oh my god. So yeah. So we're like, wasn't our scene exactly, but we were having fun. Oh yeah. Right. We were having a good time.
But that's the thing that was weird about that is like Fraser. Chris, the only person who knew anybody there was that Carl who went there.
And I think he knew like one person.
So it was kind of good that we had a group of like 6 or 7 of us with like Ivan and. Did Fraser's girlfriend come there with us, or did she just drop us off?
I think maybe
because she was at Chris.
She was at Chris and Carl's, and Debo was at Chris and Carl's.
Sorry, Catherine, if you were there. I just. But we had a decent group of people there, so we could like
and a lot of howlerheaders. Forgive us for not remembering because we were pretty.
We could mingle amongst ourselves, which was nice. We didn't have to like.
Really
put our noses up and go in there.
Oh, you're gonna put your nose up? Come on, Chase, and get a neck workout. Sorry, couldn't resist. So then we leave there. Now we're fully fucked up, and we go to this. We're just following the crowd, right? Me and Chase, we don't know where we are.
Still can't even remember the name of the place.
We don't know if we're in Oakland, San Fran. I didn't know where I was. And still don't know the name of this bar, but we go into this bar.
Tortuga.
That like, something like that. Tortuga. That might be it.
Talega. Anyways.
Yeah. Tortuga was the place that we used to have our house in Phoenix that Mustard Tiger had a house there too, and Ingo and him were blowing out over.
No, Tortuga is where Captain Jack Sparrow goes.
Also. Yes, that is also that. But that's why I think we remember it. Anyways.
We're really on Pirates of the Caribbean today.
You are. You're a big pirate head, eh?
Did you? Haven't even watched it recently.
Me neither. So we roll into this bar, and it is packed. Like, we've seen some packed bars.
Silly.
Yeah. Like, I've never... No, I don't want to say never, because I feel like I've probably been in a bar that packed before, but what's going through my head as soon as we roll in is there's no way we don't catch COVID in this bar. Like, there's just no way.
Yeah, but I'm vaccinated. Yeah, so I was very...
That doesn't protect you from getting it. That's why I said, I was like, we're both going to get it, for sure. But we just have a time, right? But like, the only thing was we were having a good time with our little group, but all I wanted was to dance. But it was so packed that when you try to dance, you just get dirty looks.
Yeah.
And again, it was a similar vibe to the house party was at this bar. Like, very, very hoity-toity, like good looking people that like weren't really dancing. And if you dance, you'd be getting some side eye, some glares.
Well, because you get a couple big fucking bodies out there trying to bust a move.
Yeah.
And it's like, when I say this, it's literally shoulder to shoulder.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Like you're touching people when you walk. So if you're like trying to dance, you're bumping people. And then people don't like that. But
I remember a point where me and you got separated, like at the bar kind of area. Like there's like what was supposed to be the dance floor, but everyone's kind of just standing because nobody can move. And like we couldn't get back to each other. And I was like, don't worry, I'm going to dance my way to it. I tried to like, dance my way to this dance floor. And I think that was the last memory I have.
Might be.
Of that I was trying to dance through. So I don't know what time it was.
I don't even know when we left.
I don't remember.
But somehow we ended up leaving.
Yeah, and you must have called an Uber because I have no service on my phone. That's why I really want to get separated. Yeah. So then Chase, I think you can take the Uber from here. I think you can take the story from here because I was in no shape to be.
So we get in this Uber. The guy is quadruple masked. Like nowhere to hide. He's got like an N95 bordered by 2 blue ones and then like another like crazy like shield on. He's like quad masked.
Full on.
So I ended up like bullshitting with him and he's had not COVID, but like some other crazy thing where it's like autoimmune. So if he catches COVID, he's like death.
Right.
Auto death.
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
So
it's fuzzy.
Very. So I'm kind of looking over at Nick, and he's like, I can tell he's starting to struggle.
I'm deep breathing.
He's deep breathing. I can tell he's got that tasty saliva in his mouth where it's like maybe time to. So I'm like, oh shit, dude, like don't puke in the Uber. I'm trying to like distract the Uber driver from looking at Nick. Kind of working, but not really. And I swear, I still haven't gotten a cleaning charge on my thing. So I don't know, but I swear I saw Nick hurl a little bit.
Oh yeah,
like, I thought there's some came out
for sure. Maybe, but I think I caught most of it on myself.
Yeah, maybe it was just on you.
Yeah, I think I kind of like because I puked this way, but I kind of put my arm up and kind of tried to cradle it.
So Nick is directly behind the driver. I'm in the passenger backside. So like I think the driver kind of saw me look at Nick, really concerned. He kind of saw Nick was struggling, pulls in, grabs his middle console, pulls out this big Ziploc freezer bag,
like huge,
like something you can put 8 steaks in. And hands it back to Nick, and Nick apparently sees this as a green light, so it's just
send it.
Puke city, and it's like a vile color. Like I was kind of concerned that it was like blood. It's like dark red, and sorry for all you weak stomachs over there, but this is like a red, dark brownish.
It was not looking good.
And so we're like San Francisco. Fraser lives kind of in this suburb of Oakland, I guess, Hayward. So it's probably about a 45-minute Uber ride. By the time we get back to Fraser's, no word of a lie, this freezer bag is full to the brim. To the brim with red, gross puke.
Yeah.
I don't know how. So we get out at Fraser's.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what did you do with that bag.
I don't know what I did with it either. I don't know. I think I must have been, I don't know if I put it outside his house and then chucked it somewhere later. Anyway, I barely even remember this. I don't remember anything in the bar. I just remember being in the Uber. I remember puking. I remember getting back to Fraser. So then we roll into Fraser. And this is the thing. So before we left, this is the first time we'd left Rem Dogs. So Remy, we just figured out, okay, we took everything in Fraser's bathroom, all the toilet paper, everything, put it up on the shelf so we couldn't get to it, and just closed him in there, thinking he'll be fine.
Food and water.
Food and water, his bed, a couple toys.
This isn't animal abuse.
Yeah, no, we had him fully set up, and we're only going to be gone a couple hours. So, but, when we're getting back, that was kind of the main thing was like, number one, we got to get this dog, right? So we roll into FO's room and go to the bathroom and try the door, and it's locked. So Remy must have at some point put his paws up, and it was one of those button push ones, and pawed the door and locked himself in there. So I am clearly gibbled. Like,
Nick is still probably holding. I think you might have still had the Ziploc bag in Fraser's place.
Yeah.
So he's standing there.
I'm
dumb at the best of times. So you put like half a 2.6 of howler head in me, and like the whole night I'm not thinking. Remy is squealing like worse than
because he knows that he can hear us outside this door,
and he was in that room for a few 4 hours.
Yeah.
So like he's screaming, I'm kind of freaking out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull all my like few brain cells together to find something to pick this door.
Because all it is one of those like tiny little circles. All you got to do is shove something in there that's the right diameter, and it pretty much unlocks the door.
So I'm like, looking around Fraser's house, can't find shit.
So I'm so drunk, I'm standing there. So I just see Chase. I'm like, just find something to pick the lock. I'm like looking on his like little bedside table, kind of there, and then Chase comes back in the knife with a giant like steak knife. I'm like, what? I'm like, there's no way. He's like, I'm just gonna try it. Like, it doesn't go in at all. I'm like, clearly not. So then, every second that goes by, things are getting more of like the panic is getting higher. Like for Remy's
freaking out,
but also
Nick's
for me and Chase.
puking.
Yeah,
like,
I wasn't freaking out as much. I'm just like, I'm not in good shape, and I was I wasn't freaking out, but I could see that you were getting upset, and I was like, "Oh," and I feel bad because I've been there. Like if the reverse and it was Socus locked in, I'd be the same one. So I'm worried about you, and you're looking around trying to find stuff, and you're just like, should I just bust down the door? I was like, hi, and you gave it kind of a smack, and like didn't do too much, and then you just kind of just like put your shoulder into it a little bit, and you're a big boy.
Yeah,
so you
like,
go
I didn't
through this door.
I didn't run at the door by any means. Nope. I kind of stood with the doorknob in my hand and just kind of like quick. You had
the doorknob in one hand and you kind of put your other hand up on it, just kind of gave it a shove, and this door busts, splinters, bust Fraser's door right open. It's mangled. And Remy comes out. He's happy as a clam. He don't know what the fuck happened, right? He's going, because that's what I was gonna say. I was like maybe you could bust on the door, but what if Remy's right there? But then the door's gone. So we're in.
Yeah, it don't matter.
So then whatever we don't even know where Fraser is at this point because we didn't come back with any of them. We have no idea what's happened with any of the roommates. We just kind of did our own thing. I just fucking came back to him. We're in an Uber. I don't remember anything else. So then we go and I might have even shed tarp at that. No, I was still in my pukey shirt carrying a bag of puke. We get Remy. We go back to the RV. We get into bed. I puke at some point in the night all over my bed, all over fucking like my sheets, my pillows, everything. Same nasty red blood puke, and then get outside, go puke. I'm like, I have to shit, but I can't make it to Fraser. I had to go take some shits outside in that little green space, blackout drunk, stumbly trying to shit. It was just a nightmare, absolute nightmare. And I'm feeling like my stomach is wrecked. And the last time I drank hard like that was that time where I was in the hospital because my stomach was wrecked. I'm thinking
and I'm just laying in my bed, happy drunk with my dog that I just broke out of jail.
Yeah,
so
so we wake up in the morning. I am death, just puke. I'm covered in puke. My bed's covered in puke. I'm sleeping in a puke bed. I'm like, oh, this is awful. And Chase wakes up, and Chase doesn't feel physically awful, but emotionally he feels awful for wrecking Fraser's door.
Yes.
So we wake up in the morning, and Chase is like, fuck, I can't believe I wrecked that door. Oh, he's gonna be so mad. And what I told, I was like, Fraser's the chillest dude of all time. He's not gonna he probably is gonna wish he had a door. Yeah. He's not gonna make that big a deal.
The door could still close.
Yeah. You could say that.
It's an ensuite. Who needs a
It's an ensuite, exactly. So I pile up all, pukey clothes, pukey sheets and shit, and we walk back to FO's. Doors left open because it's kind of a, just a party house kind of thing. They just kind of leave the door open. We roll up. I throw all this puke shit out on the balcony of one of the balconies on the main floor, and we go up and we just crash on the couch upstairs and try and throw football on because it was
Stream East, dude.
Stream East. It was... It was, what do you call it? What's that weekend? The championship
weekend? Yeah, it was championship weekend. It was AFC and NFC championship.
Right, yes. I just don't know the terms. I'm not a huge football guy.
Yeah, you're an MMA guy.
MMA guy, through and through. Through and through. But I like football, so we're trying to figure out, and eventually I think Ivan woke up first, maybe?
Yes, Ivan woke up.
Yeah,
rolled us a big blunt.
That was huge. That was later. I think FO had woke up by that point. I think he
had gone. No, he definitely did not. He went to the store.
Yes.
I just remember him not being there.
Don't question me. Anyways. Don't question me. Yeah, he wasn't there at the time. So we wake up, he comes out, we're kind of commiserating, where'd you go? How'd you get home? Kind of figuring shit out. We're just in rough shape. FO wakes up, kind of same thing. And I'm in rough shape on this couch. I think Chase was hungover a bit, but not nearly as...
I was more guilty than hungover.
Yes. And FO comes in. What happened to the door? Kind of thing. We tell him the whole story. He laughs. He doesn't care.
So I text him.
Right.
When I was real hammered, I text FO. I'm like, dude, sorry about the door. I'll pay it. I'll give you money. I don't care. I fucked your door up.
Okay. So, and the funny thing about that text is that you received a text from Fraser apologizing for something after a night out in Lister.
Yes.
So it was kind of like payback. Maybe we just stop and tell that story quick before we go on.
No, because Remy did get him.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we'll tell the story in a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's funny. So, yeah, we all kind of get up eventually, Fraser's there, Catherine's there, his girlfriend, and we kind of all commiserating. And then they can tell we're in rough shape. So Fraser goes, we're going to go to the store and we're going to make you some McOlivers. I'm like, what are McOlivers? I can't tell you.
Secret ingredients.
Secret ingredients.
It's ham and mayo. I'm going to bust a secret right now. The family secret is English muffin, slice of cheese, fried egg, ham, and mayo.
Anyways, so they go, to get sandwiches. Yeah, Ivan rolls us just like the biggest blunt of all time. I never even had a blunt in my life. That really
shout out Ivan.
That fixed my whole life pretty much at that point.
For that 30 minutes.
For that 30 minutes. Yeah, I was in rough shape for a couple days after this. You guys will hear.
Good thing Ivan rolled us that blunt, though, or I would have been way more mad at him about the whole Stream East whole situation.
Oh, yeah. So then we start watching football. So then we're trying to watch the championship games, and we're big crack streams guys, right?
Very.
Yeah, we have a couple
Very
of
brand loyal.
Yeah. Brand loyal to crack streams. When we're illegally streaming, we prefer crack streams, right?
Yes. Crackheads, you might call us.
You could call us crackheads if you so chose. But they're big Stream East guys, right? So you tell way better than I, because I was so fucked up at this point.
I'm also
trying to survive.
when I stream, I'm also like it would be, I guess, quantity over quality guy with my streams. I have, as long as the stream is not like lagging, is not cutting back, is not skipping parts, I don't really care if it could be
120p.
1080p. I don't.
That's really good.
1040p.
10p.
It could be 10p. I don't
could be
care.
1p.
As long as I can tell the colors of the uniforms and like hear the commentators,
Yeah.
I don't really give a shit. So this Ivan, who is in my good books at this point, he has his Stream East going. And I'll tell you, it's a great quality. It is full HD, great. You can read the names on the players' backs. But every 20, I don't think you could watch a play of football without it lagging, without...
You get 5 seconds of watching, 20 seconds of pause.
Yes, yeah.
5 seconds of watching.
So I'm getting fed up, and I'm just like, I don't really know this guy that well. I met him one night. So eventually I just gained the courage to say, hey man, maybe we should try crack streams.
Yes.
Give it a try. So he's like, oh, okay. I'm open to that. Goes to crack streams. Flawless. Not a skip. Not anything, but it's maybe 360p.
Yeah.
It looks like you're watching it in 2002 on a little very standard, as standard definition as you could get.
Yeah.
But you can watch the game. You can follow along. You see the plays. So you watch that for about a possession or two. And then Ivan goes, man, I can't stand this quality. I'm going to go back to Stream East. And that's where, normally I would be like, dude, what are you fucking kidding me? Why would you want to watch that skippy bullshit?
And I was so fucked up. I wasn't oblivious to all of this. I didn't even know what was happening. I was just trying to survive on that big giant
So he
beanbag.
turns it back to Stream East, and it's his house, his computer.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? But yeah, so we had to watch the 2 conference championship games. But oh man,
but we got through
awful.
it. We got through it.
Barely.
I
almost kicked the TV. I almost said, "Can we turn on some fucking cornhole? Because this is bullshit."
So then after the game,
I couldn't watch the game.
The Natties, cornhole, American Cornhole League, national championship.
You should look at getting Kobe Costanza on the pod.
Kobe Costanza is the truth.
Yes.
You know what? Really, was it even?
He's the Connor Bedard of
American Cornhole.
Yeah, he won the college Natties from a JUCO. Just unreal.
Oh my god! Yeah, so we watched the Natties. That was awesome. Ordered some pizza.
That was not
brutal.
awesome.
Ordered some chicken wings, and
Those
they were
also not awesome.
They were terrible, but they were huge. I say this for a reason.
Those were like turkey wings.
They were like turkey wings. So then eventually, at some point in the night, Remy gets a hold of one of these turkey wings. And he's got this full fucking turkey drumstick down his gullet, and must have just been the closest to him. So I go in for the wrestle. So I get him by the mouth. I've got his mouth open, and he's trying to hork this thing down. So literally, all that was hanging out of his the back of his throat was the big head of the drumstick, because it wouldn't go down his throat because so he's got this whole thing lodged. I'm 3 knuckles deep down your freaking dog's throat trying to get this stupid thing out, and he's so drooly that I come out it probably took me 10 seconds to get it out, and I come out just covered in drool, both hands. I'm like, dude. Anyway, so we were still pretty hurting by the end of the night. Just kind of let's tap her cool, go back to the RV. I'd thrown earlier in the day, I'd thrown all that pukey shit in the wash and got it all cleaned up. So I just it's all stained and nasty. One of those pillows. I think we threw the pillow out at the end of the trip, but we have a nice little sleep, wake up in the morning. What do we do that next day?
Monday?
Golf. But Fraser had class or something at first.
Yeah, he had class.
So we just kind of hung out. I think maybe we took Remy for a walk or something, long walk, kind of figured something out. Laid in the RV till 11 a.m. still. And I am still hurting. My stomach is wrecked. I feel that same way. It's just so much pain. Even drinking anything was just painful. But you can't really show any weakness around FO and Chase because you just get ridiculed endlessly. So I was just
me. I was good to you this trip. You
took really good care of me. Kind of after this, once you realize, oh, you're really fucked up. Because at this point, I was still soldiering on pretty good.
I didn't push any of the shotguns because I didn't.
That was
a
FO.
shotgun.
That was Fraser. Yeah, you're right on that one. Yeah, I meant less of the pushing, more of like making fun of you for being a pussy. Which, of course, I'm a pussy. I need to be made fun of.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Yeah.
So eventually we Fraser finishes class. We're going golfing with him and one of his buddies, Chris Old Bay. And we're all piled into Fraser's tiny car. What kind of car was that? Like
I don't know, some
Toyota Yaris or something.
Bitch mobile.
So it is tight. So like
it fits his girlish figure though. Like,
it does.
It slides right in there nice.
I mean, with all the girlish figure jokes, he is another big unit. It's the three of us in this tiny car. Plus, so Chase is in the passenger seat, Fraser's driving, I'm in the back, and then right beside me is all the golf clubs because it's tiny. It's got like no back on it. So like it's just golf clubs beside me. And then we go pick up Chris and he wedges in the back with me.
He's a little guy though.
He's a little guy, yeah. So it was like three mutants and one smaller guy.
He's actually probably not that little just
compared to
the
us,
rest of the crew.
Yeah. We have a big crew. We roll deep. So we get out to the golf course and the whole drive there is trying to figure out what are we going to play? Like what rules, strokes, what are we going to get? And they've never seen Chase play before. I have. So I'm thinking like, if we want this to be fair, it'll probably be three of us best ball against Chase and we'll probably still lose. They cannot accept this. They think that is way too unfair. There's no way he can be this good. And I'm like, dudes, like just wait, like don't. And they kept trying to give Chase more like things to try and make it even. I'm like, we don't need anything more than that. Like,
I'm like, yeah, I saw these three on the range.
Well, at this point, I hadn't seen them on the range yet. At this point, when they're trying to do that, I was like, okay, maybe they're way better because FO is a pretty good athlete, right? Like he can swing around. Chris is. I've never seen him.
That's what makes FO a good athlete, though, is his confidence.
Confidence for sure.
Like
you ask him about any sort, he is great at it. So we step onto the range, and I see FO address a ball. He's probably got, I don't know, 4 to 5 feet between his feet, like of distance between how.
There's more length between his feet than how tall he is.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Steps up, 1 foot forward. What it looks like is he's about to take
a baseball rip.
A baseball rip,
yeah,
right?
He's set up. Cages.
Yeah, he's at the batting cages. He's got his form. If the club started on his shoulder, not behind the ball, I wouldn't be that surprised.
Yeah.
But when he rips it, it goes pretty good. I'm like,
because he's such an athlete and has the basic like hand-eye coordination. Mm-hmm. So he can just smoke the ball every time.
Exactly.
But it's so like
ugly.
And even his follow through, like imagine a guy in a home run derby, feet both facing forward, full twist. Like, I swear sometimes even one hand comes off the club and he has the one arm finish. It is the most baseball.
I was just waiting for a bat flip to come at one point.
Yeah, Joey Bats.
And Chris is maybe not quite as ugly of a swing, but again, not maybe as mechanically pure as a Chase route. Mm-hmm. We'll call it. So I'm thinking, okay, we definitely don't need to give Chase anything extra. This is going to be a bit of a mucking, right? And I'm not a good golfer. I'm fully with him.
And then watching these guys on the range, I'm getting a little more confident. Yeah. Which is like, this
should be easy
box.
So and also I'm not going to be much of a help either because like I'm a very mediocre golfer, but I need a very specific set of clubs that is unlike any other. And I was using Chase's clubs.
Like Liam Neeson and Taken.
Exactly. I have a very specific set of skills. Set of tools. Yeah, I need it. Because I can't hit irons worth of shit. So I have a pitching wedge wood, I have a 13 wood, I have a 9 wood, I have a 7 wood. I just have a whole bag of woods, right? And
he looks like if you put his bag, I would be like, okay, this is an 84-year-old woman's bag.
Exactly. I don't care what I look like, baby. It's all about the strokes on the card. So I didn't have my bag of wrenches, right? So I'm thinking, I'm not going to be much help in this either. So all I could hit was Chase's 5 wood. So I just hit that the whole game. Pretty much didn't use, I think I used your wedge like once. But we start going and FO's on the shotguns and I'm just like even sipping anything alcohol, my throat was burning, my stomach hurt. I was like, this is not going well. But you got to soldier on. You got to get through it, right? So we're shotgunning every time. Was there a rule or something? Like every time something happened, we shotgun, or was it just?
No, it was whenever Fraser said shotgun.
Shotgun. Pretty much. Whenever Fraser bullied the rest of us into shotgun, and that was when we shotgun. Okay, that's a good rule.
Because even Old Bay, he was kind of like, I think he was hurting a little bit because he was at a Super Bowl party. Right. No, not a Super Bowl, just a watch party for the conference finals.
Yeah, so he was in rough shape, but we're having a good time, right? we're golfing it up. And then I think once we step out there, even at the range, I think they were thinking, oh, okay, this might be a little closer. And the whole time I was like, dude, like, I don't think we're going to win even with this. And Fraser's the most confident human of all time.
We'll play him straight up strokes.
Yeah, and he could not accept this. Yeah. Like he wanted to be fair, right? He doesn't like that type of shit. Right. So
even on the first hole, so we get to the first hole, we get to the green
yeah.
and I have like maybe a 4-footer for par.
Yeah.
You guys have like a 6-footer for par. And I look at you guys, I'm like, okay, good for good, pars. Yeah. And you and Chris are both like, yeah, good. And Fraser, fuck no, we're putting these. So, no, we're fucking putting these. It's good. So like these three like get up, all miss a little 6-footer. And I get up, have like my 4 or 5-footer, obviously like in the heart, no doubt, walk off the first hole up 1. And I'm like, Fraser, you got to take that good for good. And he's like, fuck no gimmies.
Oh, that's hilarious. No, it was, but it wasn't both for par. It was for you to win. I said, if it's strokes, I don't, never mind. I'm going to confuse myself trying to figure that out.
Anyways, I offered him a good for good. And that was just Fraser's like, fuck, no,
exactly.
this isn't
and that was his attitude.
Oh,
the
no,
whole way
because you
through.
guys needed to make and I needed to miss to tie.
Yes. So that's what it was.
Yeah.
So I said, if it's strokes, let's take the good for good because we're going to fuck this up and then we're going to be down 2 strokes. I said, if it's just, what's the other one?
Match.
If it's match play, then let's not take it because it doesn't matter if we miss. Then at least we have an opportunity to not lose this hole. Anyway, I don't think they even understood what I was saying about that, right? Like, because I'm not a big golfer, but Fraser started golfing 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
maybe.
and for that, he's really good. But anyway, so we start ripping. It's back and forth. We're shotgunning some beers.
I start to get a little drunk by the back 9.
Yeah. And first 9.
First 9, I was up by 1.
Up by 1.
So like it was a little bit closer even than I like to admittedly, I thought I was going to blow you guys out of the water.
Me too. I thought that too.
Especially when I got that deuce on like the 4th hole, got up by 2. I was like, this is easy money. Yeah. But then like the shotgun started catching up to me. Not making excuses. Like I never made excuses all day, but like I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And then I win the 10th hole. I think I birdied the 10th hole. So I'm up by 2.
Yeah.
And then after then I went off a cliff. I think I had 5 bogeys in a row.
And you had 3 witty idiots chirping everything you did, making fun of you, trying to any crack we saw, we were trying to get into it. So you just had like the full court press of idiots.
A little bit. Yeah. So I end up going like 1 down at some point.
Yeah. I think there was a 5-hole stretch where you were.
So I'm like, oh, fuck.
Like compared to any other golfer, it would be good 5 holes. For you, it was a bad 5 holes.
Well, I think I had 5 bogeys in a row. It was 5 over 5
which I've
bogeys.
never seen you do in my life.
Like I was, and I wasn't like mad or nothing. I'm just like, fuck, I'm going to lose to these fucking guys.
I was enjoying the hell of it. I was just.
So we get down to 3 holes left and I'm 1 down. I remember this like it was yesterday. But I had gotten it together a little bit. I made a couple pars in a row.
Figured it out.
Then we go to 1 hole and I kind of have a long like par, like from the fringe for par. Like I kind of chipped it around a little bit and I make and these guys have maybe like a inside probably like 5-6 footer.
Well, it depends. I probably had a 6-footer.
Chris
probably had about a
4.5 footer, but
FO had like an 8-footer,
but from a whole different angle.
Yeah. Oh my god. So this is the thing when we start playing, and this I was losing my mind. Like I don't really care, but I kind of figured lose. I don't really care. I can't care at golf. If I care at golf, I get way too angry. So I just have to go in with not much care. But even some of this, so we were playing best ball, but they really took the if your ball's in the general vicinity, like you don't have to be hit from the very same spot, which is
fine in the fairway.
Yep, doesn't matter.
Throw your ball wherever.
But then we get to the greens, and like so when we pick the ball, they would just kind of just throw their. I was trying to like be as close as I could to where they were hitting,
and not even on the greens. Is it like I'm getting mad because you're cheating? I just think it's like. For you guys, it's way more advantageous to putt from the exact spot.
And that's why I kept saying like let's watch each other's reads. If we all putt from the same spot, we can watch the break. I was aiming a foot right and it broke too much. Okay, you need little less, a little more, whatever. Yeah. I'm not a fucking golfer.
Well, yeah, it's good to putt from the if you see the same
exactly.
But yeah, they were just throwing their balls down everywhere. Like,
I'm like, oh my god! And that's the biggest advantage of having 3 guys on one. Like the nice shots if someone does it from the fair, but where it really matters is putting, having those reads. That was the hugest part, and we didn't use that at all. I didn't care enough to say anything. I was like, whatever, like, just what it is. Anyway, so like, yeah, every putt was different and different angles too. And these greens are every green was like a turtle shell.
Yeah, they're tough.
They were tough, right? So anyway, we come in to the last hole.
Well, we're still down to 3 holes left. I'm down by 1.
You're the one that remembers.
I'm down by 1 with 3 holes to go. I have like a putt for par from the fringe.
Yeah.
So a pretty big putt. I step up and like make it. And I'm at the point where I'm thinking, I'm going to lose this hole. Like I missed this putt. These guys have like a 5-footer left. So I end up making this putt. These guys all step up. Chris from, like you said, 4.5. Nick from 6, and Fraser. Although he wasn't he was always like he was way too far. I'm like,
he would
Fraser,
make sure
you were
that
way
he was
closer than that dude. But I wouldn't say nothing. And so they all three miss a putt. I end up winning that hole. So I'm like, okay, that's good. We go
so
to
we're even last.
Yeah, so we go to 17. We tie with pars or something, and then go to 18. I end up getting a birdie. You guys use your last mulligan and make par on the last hole. So I end up birdieing to win, which like is good. I beat you guys. I would have felt bad if I didn't.
Yeah.
Like it would have been a hit to the confidence a little bit because of that little stretch. But I ended up winning. But it was tight. It was a fun game.
So much
lots
fun.
of chirps, lots of shotguns.
That fucking Old Bay was a funny fucker.
He's a good dude.
Oh man, real funny. Like we knew that we'd have fun with FO, but just have another guy that fit in so well with all the chirps, all the shit, and like good laugher too. Like if you made a good joke, he like, you know, because that's important too. If you go with those guys that some guys like to make jokes and like to make other people laugh, but they don't give it up when someone else did because they want to be the funny guy. Yeah, not at all, right? Like just was
he was good
shit. So we had a good time. Dropped him back off at the bus station.
The BART.
The what?
The BART, Bay Area Rail Transit. They called it the BART.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? The BART. Yeah, dropped him at the BART, and I didn't want to mention to you, but I am not feeling good at this point. I am like hurting unit. And we're just
then we go out to TJ. And why did you order more drinks then?
Because I'd get made fun of.
You wouldn't. Me and Fraser never made fun of you the whole time.
Ever,
and you just, because you were ordering drinks.
Yeah. So I'm just like not feeling great. Ordered some food. And I think also just like when your stomach's at wreck, I don't know what we ordered, but some sort of fried, nasty food or whatever we ate there. Probably wasn't the smartest call. Probably could have gone for a salad. So whatever, we salad. We roll back to Fraser's. Did we do anything on that night, or we just went to bed? Because Fraser had school in the morning. Yeah, so that was the plan. So Fraser had school in the morning. We were going to take off in the morning, go to Lake Tahoe, and spend a couple days there. Then head back, grab Fraser, and take off for the rest of the trip. And we're trying to convince Fraser he was maybe just going to come to Arizona and then fly back. We were trying to convince him to come all the way to Houston for the fights. I think we had him convinced.
Oh, he was on board.
I think he was on board. So we were fired up. We go and we wake up the next morning, and I am not feeling great, but not awful when we first woke up. So we walk over, we say bye to Fraser. We missed something.
What?
Day before. So we left Remy at the house the day before.
Oh, yeah.
When we went golfing. And we left him with
one of Fraser's roommates.
Yeah,
Alyssa watched
him.
Awesome.
She was dope. She was real dope. And she watched the dog, took real good care of him. And then we didn't have to didn't have to lock him in the bathroom. So when we get back to Fraser's place, she's like, oh, yeah, he's been so good. He didn't, we took him out. He's just been an awesome little guy. I love the guy. It's Remy. He's the best dog ever. Second best dog ever. She almost heard that. That was close. Oh, yes, you heard that? You need a treat because Daddy said something mean to you? Sorry. So we come back and we think, nothing's gone bad. And then we, probably 10 minutes later, we were already kind of settled back in there, and we just look at Fraser's bed, and there's a bit of a puddle on it.
No, so here's... I don't know if he wants to tell the story. I know he's gone. But anyways...
He don't care.
So... Before I even get to the punchline of what Fraser comes out of his room and says, so back in the university days when we used to live in Lister, me and my grandpa had built some like homemade extension of a bed frame so I could pull the single bed frame out, connect this, and have a big like queen bed in my Schaefer room. So my room was just bed.
It was sick.
So when we came back from like bars or whatever, drunk, kind of tone it down for the night, we would always go chill in my room because you could throw TV on.
Yeah. But everyone kind of has to sit on the bed because there's not really anything. The bed is the whole room. Yeah.
So night gets late. Fraser and I end up like kind of both. We were watching a movie or something. And we passed out on my bed, fully dressed, jeans, kind of both like legs dangling off the side of the bed, but fell asleep. Had a bit of a sleepover on the queen bed. Maybe snuggled. Maybe who knows?
Probably a little
Something
bit.
happened.
At least a little bit.
Maybe a little smooching.
Yeah, anyways, I was there too, but I went to bed at some point. Right?
Yeah,
I just left. Yeah.
Yeah. So Fraser has a little sleepover, and I get up in the morning. Fraser's gone, and we had slushes from Max. So I get up in the morning. Fraser's gone back to his room. I kind of wake up in a daze, fully clothed. Fraser's gone, and I feel like kind of the middle of my bed where Fraser was laying is just like soaked. It's fully soaked.
And you thought you spilled your slush or something?
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, we had slushes. My slush was in my hand. I'm like, Fraser just spilt his slush. So I just take my clothes off and I'm like, it's 9 a.m. I'm just going to go back to sleep. Fuck, I don't want to deal with this right now. So I lay in this wetness of whatever it was. So I probably go back to sleep for a couple more hours, get up, and I wake up from, like we said, a text similar that I sent him when I broke his door. Hey man, like, really sorry.
And you didn't know what.
And I'm like, what the fuck? What
sorry
about?
For what?
So then it kind of clues in, and Fraser had totally wet my bed.
Pissed your bed.
Pissed my bed.
Oh, probably all over you too.
Unknowingly, I just turn over, get naked, and sleep in his fucking piss for 2-3 hours. So now back to San Fran, we get home. Alyssa had been watching Remy for the day. And Fraser comes out of his room and he looks me in the eye and he goes, well, fucker, I guess we're even. I'm like, what do you mean? And I walk in his room and Remy had gone full right in the middle of his bed. Yeah. Big pee.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
oh my God.
Attaboy Remy, we're now even. Yeah. Plus the door. So I guess we're not even anymore.
Yeah. Now,
I owe him
flipped.
He owes me one.
Yeah. He's going to have to bust your door down one of these days. Oh my God. Yeah. So yeah, we missed that. That was the excitement before we went to TGI Fridays. And again, FO doesn't care. He throws his shit in the wash. He's such a good dude. He don't give a shit. It was just funny. And then, we wake up the next day, we say bye to Fraser. Chase hops in the RV. We kind of get it. And it was gross because we had that was like the first time we were in FO's place and just kind of left the RV stagnant in like the Bay Area heat. It was real gross. It smelled like beef jerky and puke and dude ass. It was so gross. So we, kind of did a little bit of a cleanup, got it on the road, opened the windows, get a little bit of action. Chase is driving and we're going to Lake Tahoe. And we woke up that morning and when we traveled to Phoenix a couple Christmases ago, we went to this place called Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers in Phoenix. And it was started in Phoenix and now it's kind of spread along actually most of the southern U.S. I think we saw it in a lot of places once we got more south, but we loved it. It has a sauce that you dip these chicken. Oh, I'm drooling, man. I'm drooling, dude. This sauce that you dip these chicken fingers in is just like incredible. This cane sauce and like this Texas toast that comes with this so good.
Even the crinkle cut fries.
Oh,
man.
Dude, I can't even absolutely mouthwatering. So we were so excited for this, and we're going to stop in Stockton. 209 Nate Diaz had to stop in Stockton for it.
902.
Yeah, 902. 10. So we're pretty fired up for this Cane's. So we're driving. Chase is driving, and it is windy as a son of a bitch. And we figured out we didn't need to go into Stockton. We could get it in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. So it is like windy, kind of chucking us all over. And I am getting sicker and sicker by the minute. Like as we're driving, I'm just starting to feel really, really shitty. Like my stomach was fucked. I was just like, oh, this is not good. But excited for these chicken fingers. We roll in. I'm thinking, it'll pass. I'm probably just hungry. I don't know what I was thinking. We roll into Cane's. We both get like a 6 chicken finger, like huge meal, like fries, Texas toast, extra sauces, and we sit down and eat it. I eat like half a chicken finger and a bite of Texas toast. I'm like, I cannot eat anything. This is awful. Like I just kind of packed it up, and then I was thinking like, I don't think I can drive. Like how sick I was getting, and I was just thinking like, I didn't say anything. I was just kind of dreading it. Like, oh shit, I don't know if I can do this. And then I don't know if Chase saw it on my face or whatever. He's like, do you need me to drive? I was like I hate to do this, but I think you might have to drive. So then he hopped in, drove the rest of the way to Tahoe, and I had to go into the bed and lay down. And the whole way to Tahoe, I'm just freezing and then boiling hot. I'm sweating. I'm like just trying not to puke. And it is a windy road through the mountains. Chase said it was one of the most, I did the drive back. It was a beautiful drive, really right? I missed it on the way in. Yeah. And Chase is just telling me, dude, you got it. Like this is the best drive. Like, oh, it's so nice. Like the whole time I'm out there and I'm like, just like, I'm dying, dude. There's nothing I can do. So I'm just like feeling real shitty. And I think Chase started to figure out once I said like, oh, when I was sweating and getting cold and hot and stuff, he was like, oh, like that's kind of fever. So we get to Tahoe. Chase pulls into a grocery store, gets, a bunch of medicine for me, gets a bunch of food to cook, and just took real good care of me and all this stuff. And while he ran in, I like pour myself out of bed and go take a rapid test. Because I thought, like, just what are the odds? Because I was so sure that we got COVID in that bar. But I was like, this doesn't seem like COVID. Hey, enough. Enough whining, baby. Thank you. Good girl. So I just thought, I'll just take a test. Like, this doesn't seem like COVID. Like, this seems exactly like what I did to my stomach the other time I drank myself silly like that. But the fever was kind of weird. I was like, that's kind of odd. I didn't have a fever last time. No, I did too. I was freezing cold. Anyway. but it tests negative. So whatever. And we roll into the campsite. And what did we do that night? I don't think I was in much.
We did shit. I ate burritos. I ate the rest of your chicken fingers.
Yeah. You finished my chicky fingers, which
and
was...
you're just a potato, and we just chilled and settled down at our campsite at Lake Tahoe.
Yeah. I'm just going to pull up woke up, said bye, not die, got to Tahoe. Yeah. Cane's burritos, straw. Oh yeah, and I got a couple strawberries. I mean, that was what I ate that day because I couldn't do much. Yeah, you made sure you got me a bunch of options so I had something to eat. So the next day we woke up, I was feeling little. Oh, and we got to Tahoe, and that's what we did that night. We were trying to figure out things to do in Tahoe over there. We're looking at hikes, and we see there's a Hell's Kitchen, and I watched Hell's Kitchen when I was a kid, like religiously. My family would watch it, loved it, and Chase had never seen it, but I knew Chase loved reality TV like that. That's like good reality TV, and you'd never seen it. I knew you would love it. So a couple years ago,
it's okay.
I showed you, and you ended up crushing every single season, like all 20 seasons, right? And you no-sold it to me too, because like when we watched like the first 6 episodes of season 1 together, you're like, yeah, it's all right, and then like didn't really say anything after, and then like I just asked you randomly like months later, like, yeah, I watched every season. It was great. It was great. So like we both love Hell's Kitchen. We're like, there's a Hell's Kitchen restaurant. Let's go. Like we know it's gonna cost us fucking $100 million, but who cares? It's gonna be awesome. But we couldn't. I was trying to get it booked for as late as possible, like right before we left Tahoe, because my stomach was so hooped and I wanted to be there. But the only one we could get was not the
Thursday night.
Yeah, so it wasn't like the Wednesday that we woke up in Tahoe, the first overnight. Like the first full day we'd be there, it was going to be the next day. So we're really excited for it, but I'm just like, I want to be able to eat. So I'm just trying to do everything I can to get my stomach figured out. Next day, we went for a nice walk down the beach with Remy.
Lake Tahoe is beautiful.
So beautiful.
It's crazy.
Unbelievably beautiful.
Huge lake. Mm-hmm. Really cool town, too, because it's half Cali, half Nevada.
Yeah.
So, like, on the drive in, as soon as, like, you look on Google Maps, you cross that border into Nevada, it's like, it turns from this little ski lake village with all these chalets and little campgrounds into, like, Hard Rock Casino, huge hotel, Harrah's, massive casinos, and like it was just a cool little place.
Yeah, it was just.
I go back there for sure.
For sure.
Gondolas to the ski hill right from town.
That was unreal.
So people are like walking around in their ski boots and helmets and goggles everywhere. It was cool.
Yeah, so we went and did a nice walk with Remy. You cooked. Oh, so Chase had the day before at the grocery store. Chase is a really good cook, and he bought steak, potatoes, vegetables, and he was going to make a big cookout on this barbecue that we brought. That my dad gave us, this little propane barbecue. And Chase had bought like one of those little camping propane bottles, but that only hooks up to certain ones. So it wouldn't hook up. So Chase had made all the food, had everything kind of prepped and ready, but we couldn't use his propane. So we pack up the whole RV because, you got to suck the slide in, take the power off. And we drive into town and we go buy a big propane bottle, get back there. Still won't work. So we're like, son of a bitch. Won't work. And we get, what do we do after that? We went and what? Oh, we tried to get this stupid thing working. We couldn't get it. So then we just decided to try and get the oven going, which we had not gotten going, I don't think yet. Had we got the oven going yet at that point? Or was that the first time?
No. We got the oven going out of necessity.
Oh, look at the dog wants to hop up with you. Oh, big kisses. Hop up. Jump up there.
Come on.
No. Oh, you big sillies. So we get the oven going. He cooks like unreal vegetables and potatoes in the oven, and then he cooks some steak on the what's it called? Just the range. And we had an awesome meal that night and just kind of watched a movie, maybe, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, we had just a nice night, good little meal. I was still feeling okay, but I was able to get some of that food in me. Had like maybe half a steak and some potatoes. The potatoes were so fucking good,
Hell
dude.
Yeah.
A little spicy. Not for me. A little spicy for you, I think. I think you might have. I remember now. So when I'm just sitting there like a fucking slug, Chase is just trying to make me laugh. He's cooking, and he's cooking like an idiot, right? Like little bit of this, bang, boom, like throwing shit. He grabs the cayenne to add it to the potatoes and gives it a little bam, and he hammered the potatoes. Sit down, lady. Sit down, you freaking freak. Yeah, good girl. So they were a little spicy, but again, nice little
Still
meal.
Fucking delicious.
And next day is going to be Hell's Kitchen. So we are fired up. Wake up in the morning. I am still feeling like shit. Like but like a different feeling like shit. Now my elbows hurt, my knees hurt. Like I was like, this is kind of odd. But whatever.
You don't remember we rolled that night? I twisted you up. I put you in all sorts of shit. That's why you're sore.
Yeah. Chase jujitsu'd me in my sickened state. No, that's bullshit. He'd never fucking tap me. Never in a million years. So we wake up and I was like, I'm going to try and go for a run. Like maybe I just need to like get some exercise. Maybe that's the whole thing. I just need to like just say, fuck it, body, you're getting on board.
Fuck it, body.
So I tried to go for a 10K run. Like my ankles hurt, my knees hurt, but I got through it, and you took Remy for like a 2-hour walk down, found some trail.
Hike.
Yeah, big hike. And then it was 4 o'clock reservation.
4. We had the first resi of the whole night. Yeah. Hell's Kitchen opened at 4. That was our resi.
Yeah. That was the only one we could get.
Yeah.
So, and we were fired up. So we, took Ryan for a big walk. I went for a run. We kind of dressed. We didn't have like super nice clothes, but we just kind of threw on something that was half, decent, not a pair of sweatpants like we were kind of rocking the rest of the time. And we roll into this casino. I think it was Harrah's or something.
Harrah's,
yeah, Harrah's casino, and we get to see like the cool like Hell's Kitchen doors that open and stuff, and like all the fire. And they have like this bar that you can sit at and get like these Hell's Kitchen drinks. Like if you don't have a reservation, you can still just grab like a Hell's Kitchen drink or whatever. So, and the other thing the day before, we had sat and looked at the menu and just kind of and there was no prices on the menu online. So we were just like kind of debating what we're going to get and kind of seeing like, once we see the prices, maybe we'll make a decision like, maybe I won't get that side or whatever. We kind of had an idea of what we wanted, but it was going to be a game time decision. So we roll in, we get seated, kind of a shit table, I would say. More so for me because I had to sit with like my face to the wall and I couldn't see the rest of the restaurant.
I had the best spot.
Yeah, you had a pretty good spot. Mine kind of fucking sucked.
You could look at the whole wall of champions. What else would you want?
No, I had a corner. Like it was a wall and a corner, so I couldn't see to the left. Like I had wall forward and wall left, but whatever. It was still the food is what I was there for. I wasn't there for the ambiance. Fuck that. I was there for a muck. And so we roll in, we open this menu, and we see the prices and stuff. It's pretty steep, but whatever. That's what we kind of went into it thinking.
Gordon Ramsay, baby.
It's Gordon Ramsay. We're not going to let the price scare us. We're here to eat. We're gonna go big. So I was gonna get the Wellington. I'll just say what I got, and then Chase can take over with his meal. I got the beef Wellington, which is like the most famous thing from the show. Like you got to get it. And like I'm gonna say a hot take right now. I think my mom makes a better fucking Wellington than my mom makes a fucking hot Wellington. That's what I'm just going to say.
Does she serve it face up with foie gras and lobster tail?
That I've never had. I don't know. Maybe I can ask her. But I just got the regular welly, not the supreme welly. I got these Wagyu meatballs to start, which were like unfucking real. So good. And then I got a mac and cheese side and
that's it.
Chase, what did you get?
Pretty much same. I got, scallops to start, which is pretty good. Famous Hell's Kitchen. Appy. Yeah. Lots of people fuck scallops up and Gordon will scream at them. And that scallops is probably the most common.
They're raw.
Yeah. Raw. Or like one side's burnt, one side's not. They're just a fucking hard thing. Like I've tried cooking scallops a lot. They're just hard because they cook so quick and you have to have like the pan at the right. Anyways. So the waiter's talking to us and like, giving us kind of like, he said, okay, tonight the chef's special is just kind of like, the chef just makes things on the menu, but adds little twists or whatever. So he goes, the chef's special tonight is like the beef Wellington, but it's served the two pieces are served face up. One comes with foie gras on it, which those listening aren't as classy as Nick and I are. If you don't know what foie gras is, it's a gravaged duck liver. And gravage, for those of you who are also unclassy, a gravaged duck is a duck that's just like tied into a cage or something and force fed, like all these real fatty.
Yeah, they put like a tube down their throat and just like force feed them like corn and shit to get like a super fatty liver. And
honestly, like that sounds sick. Like I'd like to be gravaged.
Yeah. It's on the bucket.
So anyway, it's like this really fancy, like rich duck liver that I kind of wanted to try. There was an appetizer that was foie gras, but I didn't want to like risk not liking the foie gras. Fuck, I'm right in the sun. I can't get out of it. Jesus.
Need my sunny?
Trying to make this work. So, no, I'm good now. I got it in the spot. Sorry, just had to adjust there.
A little adjustment.
So I wasn't bold enough to get the full like foie gras appy.
Yeah. But you could tell. So this is when we were looking in the camper. We were looking at the appetizer, and Chase goes, "What's foie gras?" And I gave him the whole thing, explained what gravage.
And then I was all
about
it.
And then he was all about it, but he didn't want to. He thought about ordering, but he's like, "What if I don't like it? I don't want to pay like."
And I
$30
wanted to get the
for
scallops. The scallops were unreal.
Yeah, exactly. So then he says, face up with foie gras on one side and a lobster tail on the other. And Chase's eyes just lit.
So I'm kind of like, okay, that's maybe going to be what? Like $40 extra.
Yeah,
you had foie gras, lobster tail, let's say like $20 each roughly to add on. So I'm like, fuck, I'm at Hell's Kitchen. Give me the ultimate beef welly.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
Yeah.
And
you got some Brussels sprouts.
Got the Brussels sprouts, got the same mac and cheese.
Yeah.
It was all very, very unreal. Like the foie gras
How
was
about the drinks?
Drinks were good. They taste like peach pop, which peach is unreal. I love peach. Love me some peach.
But what was the best part?
The notes.
The notes.
So this cocktail I got was at $18, and it was called the cocktail was literally just called Notes from Ramsey. So it came in like the little garnish on the drink was just a little note from Ramsey. It was like quotes from
one of his quotes or whatever.
Quotes from the show. The one was my grandma could do better than this, and she's dead. So like just like funny little quotes like that. So I have them in my wallet, whatever, little souvenirs, which was nice. And
what other souvenirs did you get, Chase?
So the other souvenirs came later after I got the bill.
Yeah.
So we get the bill. We get the bill, and you're looking down, and the Wellington. I don't want to blow up Hell's Kitchen spot, but it was $65 for the basic.
Yeah,
Wellington.
that's how much my cost.
So Nick's was $65, and then you see mine on the bill, and it was the beef Wellington. And then underneath was the foie gras add-on, lobster tail add-on. And it was exactly what I thought. It was $40, $24 for the lobster, $16 for foie gras, $40 for that shit. But you look at the base cost of what they charged me for my Wellington was $95.
Yeah.
So $30 plus the add-ons. So I'm paying $70 extra, more than double.
Yeah.
So I'm paying more than double for this thing. So Nick and I are both very I'm speaking for myself. I'm very cowardice. I will not speak up in this situation. Yeah, we're in a fancy restaurant.
We're not going to ask. Is this?
I have way too much shame to be like, hey, why is this?
And everyone we've told the story to said, well, why didn't you ask? Like, do you know us?
I just ate it. I didn't want to start conflict. But that being said, there's these nice table lap napkins they give us with a nice HK Hell's Kitchen logo on them. I put those in my pocket with the box. Yeah. There's a little golden spoon they gave me with my coffee that I got. Put that in the pocket. I'm like, they're 30. I got to take $30 worth of shit here. They're robbing me of $30. So I got a couple free souvenirs, and then
So we are stuffed, full on, can barely eat anything. But I wanted to get a dessert. I was just like, we're here, I'm gonna just force it down. I don't think I can fit a dessert. But then and Chase wasn't feeling dessert. But then when I said I was gonna get one, he said, well, then I'll get one too. Well, I'll get the
cheesecake.
Yeah, I'll get the cheesecake pops. You get the chocolate cake, right? And the waiter comes up and we're like, yeah, we're gonna do the cheesecake and the and the chocolate cake. He goes, let me guess, one of each. And we kind of laugh because we had already eaten a crazy amount of food, right? We're just kind of whatever, laughed and didn't think nothing of it. But I had kind of heard, I was like, no, not one of you. I was like, yeah, so just the cheesecake and the chocolate cake, right? That's the cheesecake pops because they're on a stick. It was weird. Anyway, pretty good. But then when he shows up, he brings the chocolate cake and what was the third?
Sticky toffee pudding.
The sticky toffee pudding,
which ended up
being the best one,
dessert. It was
right? So Chase kind of when he puts it in front of him, he kind of and he says, and the cheesecake pops will be out in a minute. And Chase kind of looks at me like, what? We didn't order all three. And I was like, oh no. He took that serious. The joke that we laughed at, he took that as serious. So we're like, shit, whatever.
And if you ask if we crushed all three of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we did. We put some work. And the sticky toffee pudding was the best one of all three, by leaps and bounds. It was unbelievable. So I'm so glad he did. But then we get the bill, and I don't know if it was just he noticed that he maybe fucked that up or whatever, but he didn't end up charging us for the sticky toffee pudding.
Yeah, which is cool.
So we lost on the Supreme Beef Welly, but we won on the desserts. And the
napkins
and the napkins and the spoon for sure. Maybe a guy would give his buddy one of the napkins, but I don't know. I would like a souvenir too. Just kidding.
You could have taken it.
No, I'm a coward. I'm a bigger coward than you.
I'm a little bit of a fucking klepto.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah. Not as bad as Lauren Harley.
Oh my god. Anyways. That's a long story. So then we are so full. We are in pain. I've been really full in my life. I do this to myself all the time. I'm a bit of a glutton.
We felt gravaged.
We felt gravaged. Yeah, we
gravaged ourselves.
We did gravage ourselves. So we are just
our livers would have tasted fucking good after that.
Oh, dude! After all that liquor in San Fran and then this, that was.
It tasted like a fucking Bailey's chocolate or something.
Yes, exactly. Bailey's chocolate
would have been nice though.
Yeah. So we are just almost tempted just to get an Uber home, but we're like, no, we were out of weed at that point too. So we're like, there's a dispensary down there. We can go pick some up. And it's quite a far walk.
It's a 5-minute walk.
It was like,
but after you've been gravaged.
Yeah. Like
5 turns into half
hour. So like we are just walking down, but it was so beautiful there. Like this town is like similar to like a Banff Jasper, like just really cool stores.
On steroids.
On steroids. Yeah. Why?
Huh?
Why was it on?
I think it has something to do with the American commerce regulations.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Specifically Nevada.
Yeah.
Because the Nevada side was crazy. Like the huge casinos, that little strip we went down had that really cool little like putting the flat stick bar, it was called.
That was a mini golf bar.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, it didn't really look like mini golf. It looked like the tables had little like holes and little mini putters on the tables. Like,
I didn't see that.
The tables were, the top of the tables were turf. And they had little holes in the corners and like little mini putters and like it was mini golf.
So this was the plan. So we saw that. We're like, we'll go there tomorrow night. That'll be sick. No. No, we were leaving the next day.
Because that's when we were like, maybe FO should come here for Friday night.
That's what we were thinking. Yeah, we're thinking maybe Catherine and Fraser will come over to Tahoe because it's so nice. We're like, man, we could put some more time in here, and then we could just leave from there. We wouldn't have to drive all the way back to San Fran to pick them up. So that was kind of our plan at that point. So we walk, we get to this dispensary, and it's like the coolest dispensary I've ever seen. Like the dispensaries in Canada are bullshit compared to the ones in America. They have so much cool shit. We're just like kids in the candy store, like, look at this. They had this drink. It was probably like
it looked like a cough medicine bottle.
Yeah, like a 400 milliliter little cough medicine bottle. Looked like a thing of
Buckley's.
Yeah, exactly. It looked like a little bottle of Buckley's, and it said like lean on it, like, which I think was just them making a joke about it, whatever it was. Hopefully,
might have been lean,
but it was 1,000 milligrams of THC in it. So like we had grabbed these 100 milligram drinks that were because I'd never really done it. I've done edibles, but like just so small that I've never even felt it. I get too impatient. I just end up smoking because I can't feel it. And we're just impatient guys. We don't really like edibles for that reason. And we had mentioned, and there's people helping in that. So they said, like, can we be interested in edibles? And we go, we're kind of too impatient for that. And they said, well, the drinks don't take like an hour to hit the, 10, 15 minutes. You'll feel them. So, that's kind of cool. We'll try that. So we grabbed these 100 milligram drinks, which is, a lot. If the people listening that know what that is, that's a lot, and anyways, that will come in. That will come into the story later. Light work. But we got this one joint that was like 58%, like had hash and
really interesting little character that was helping us out too.
Super interesting little character. Yeah. And that was we definitely had to have some conversations about that after. Probably shouldn't get into that.
No, I was saying she's an interesting person.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting. But super nice and really helpful. Yeah, like super like wanted to get us like whatever we needed. And so we bought these drinks. Like, well, just buy this. You'll get 800 milligrams more weed, and it's cheaper than those two drinks put together. So I was almost sold, and I was like, well, let's do it. I was a kid in the candy shop, and Chase was like, chill the fuck out, man. Easy here. You've never even done an edible in your life. You're trying to buy a fucking 1,000 milligram bottle of lean. Easy.
Joey Diaz level.
Joey Diaz, dude.
No, dude, you don't need that.
Yeah, and clear and. As you guys will hear, we definitely did not need that. So we get some joints, get some whatever. We just kind of loaded up with what we needed and those two drinks. But moral of the story, just a really cool store and really cool people, right? And we just called an Uber from there.
I think the weed stores down there are better and cooler because they're way more privately owned because of the commerce regulations.
For sure. There. It's all the commerce regulations, man.
Yeah.
I learned so much from you on this trip about commerce. Yeah. You are just a genius.
Tune into my podcast, Commerce Rules.
Did you get a business degree? And we're still like super full at this point. So we just hopped in an Uber from there, went back to the RV, got Rem Dogs, had a little, I don't think we even watched. I think we both just went and laid in our beds and died because we were so full. Wake up in the morning and I woke up, it was probably like 7 a.m. and I could hear you coughing.
Well, I'm surprised I didn't wait. I woke up at about 5 a.m.
I didn't know what time it was.
And I had just like out of nowhere, I had the worst body aches of my life.
Yeah.
Like it woke up and it felt like I got hit by a truck. Like my body's sore. Yeah. I'm kind of starting to hack a little bit.
Yeah.
So I woke up and pounded like 8 children's Advil, went right back to sleep.
Why children's?
I like children.
What a crazy answer.
That's better than that's better than not being able to take pills.
Yeah, so yes, that's the chewable ones, which is one of my favorite things because there's not a lot you can chirp chase about. So you got to, when you find them, you got to really, really drill into them. Anyway. So
hey, I've had a near death experience with pills. Okay. So it's very like warranted fear. So anyways, I get up, have the Advil, have these really bad like body aches. And I get up and I can't sleep. So like 7 a.m. I'm like, Kate, let's get up. I'm going to take I'm coughing. I'm worried I'm going to wake you up. Coughing body aches.
I was already awake, but
So I take the dog for a long walk and I'm just like, kind of like take the dog for a walk down to the lake and I'm like wheezing. I'm like, fuck. So I get back to the RV and I'm like, Nick, so we're taking more COVID tests.
Because that's the thing. We were so sure. And that like we got COVID.
But it's just like,
but I'd already taken that test.
I had a bit of a cough, but like up until that morning, other than like slight coughing that may have been attributed to smoking, I never felt anything.
And I was so frigged up with my stomach that that's what I was saying. When I started to feel like my knees hurt and my ankles hurt when I went for that run before Hell's Kitchen, I was thinking like, that's kind of odd because like that was like even the fever and stuff. I kind of got that when I was that messed up from my stomach from drinking before. So I was trying to figure that out. But then when I heard you that morning, I was like, oh yeah. So we took COVID tests, sure enough, positive. So we're like, shit, what do we do? What do we got? So the first thing we did was call Fraser, say, shit, like we got COVID, clearly got it in San Fran at that bar like we thought. But
Fraser's had it just recently.
Yeah,
so
Fraser just had it before.
Like,
so we thought, you're fine. We just thought we better tell him, be upfront about it. And we booked and called right away and booked another night in Tahoe just to kind of give us more time because we're completely isolated at this RV campsite, right? Just the two of us. So we call him and he was thinking like, oh shit, well hopefully if you guys are, like symptom free by the time you see me, maybe I'll hop in, but if not, maybe not. So we're like, oh, that'd be a real bummer.
Well, I mean, he to be fair, like he's a chiropractor. Like
he's got clinical.
He's got patients that come in and see him. So like, if
smart call.
Which, for him, if he got COVID, if he's taken a week off with us to come watch the fights, then if he got COVID, it would probably turn into another week, and he just didn't want to. Which is fair, totally fair.
Yeah, and so we figured that out. Then I did a little happy dance. I was kind of happy to finally get it and just get it over with. Like, okay, like this sucks, but what are we gonna do about it now? And finally, at least now, I've had it once, and now I'm gonna have antibodies. Let's go, right? Little happy dance, and then took some ivermectin because I brought just one of my sleeves that I have. I should have brought more. I don't know why I brought that much. So it's kind of my.
We didn't have quite enough to take like the proper dose for the. So we did it anally.
Yeah.
And we thought that might be a little bit more effective.
Right. Just like a butt chug, it gets right into the into the bloodstream. Yeah.
So the harder we hit it, the more likely it'll be to work.
Yeah. The further up you get the pills, the more it's going to work. Right. So we got them deep. Don't worry. Got them real deep. And just kind of. So then. We just were like, well, we can't really go into town, can't really do nothing. So we had gotten firewood. Oh no. Okay, we were a little bad. We wore our masks, we were good, but we went out into town, got firewood and leveling blocks because
we were running around the store to make sure we were in there for the least amount of time.
We held our
possible.
Breath. Yeah. We'd make sure we'd run to the store, look for something, then run out and take a breath, and we'd run back in. Yeah, we were very, very careful. Don't worry.
We wore kick me, I have COVID signs on our backs.
6 masks each.
Yeah.
But we got firewood, and then we just kind of hunkered down for the whole day. Got some we already had hot dogs, I think. And we stopped by the drugstore and got some, Mucinex and stuff and all this stuff because my dad had just had it. So he was kind of giving us the rundown of what works best and all this stuff. And we just built this fire, and for I don't know how many hours we were out there
all day.
Put in a shift.
Couple Duraflame logs.
Yeah.
Like how long do those things burn?
A while.
And we went through 2 of them.
Yeah. And we're putting wood around it just because, it was kind of chilly and wanted a good fire. And then we're probably out there for hour at this point, hour and a half. And we had already cooked some dogs, had a bit of our leftovers from Hell's Kitchen, both just kind of coughing, hacking, just, we're both.
That day was probably the worst. Day, I was kind of potatoed on the
and I think at that point my stomach was still worse than like the COVID shit at that point for me. But I was kind of getting over that, so I think I was in better shape than you that day. And I was kind of trying to help you out because you were so good to me a couple days before, taking good care of me, like Nurse Rao. And then we're probably out there for an hour, and we see this huge fifth wheel pull up with a big diesel Dodge Ram.
Was it a toy hauler? No,
it wasn't. It was just a really long fifth wheel. Yeah. Huge unit. Like, and this campsite in Tahoe is really tight, and they have the trees really close to the road. So it makes it really hard to get bites and to back things in.
To get bites.
Well, when you're trying to back in, you need room to take another bite at it, right?
Yeah.
Get a little bit more straightened out so you can get it in. So it's got this guy And we're just watching. So
big
all
dually,
of the, so all of this is completely us conjecturing. That's not a word. It's all conjecture. That's what I meant to say. But it seemed like there was an older guy, and he was the guy. He was the guy at the back trying to, give him direction. There was a young guy we thought maybe was his son.
He was that old fucking nerd that thinks he has way more experience than everybody else.
Sure. Yeah.
But he doesn't.
But he doesn't. Then there's another kind of younger guy that we think is maybe a friend. Like we think the driver is the son of the guy guiding.
No, I think the shitty guide and the dad guide, they looked similar.
So you think the two guys guiding were father son,
Yes.
and the guy driving was different?
I think
Okay.
I was
That
driving
makes
and
sense.
you and Ingo were directing me.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chase is driving, Ingo's at the back directing, and I'm just standing by.
He's
the window.
Rover.
I'm just Rover standing by the window talking you through it, right? Like
It almost seemed like there was one guy that was like translator. Like
Yeah.
the old guy would stand there out of view of the driver and say, keep it coming.
Yeah.
Keep it coming.
So, and this is the thing, growing up, going to Penticton all the time as a kid, the biggest highlight of the whole time was flexing Fridays. Oh, flexing for sure. But the biggest thing would be Fridays would be changeout day, and you'd watch the crazy fights between husbands and wife trying to back RVs in, right? Or not RVs, back trailers in. And it's such just a tough thing to do. And so the emotions get high. It's stressful. So I knew what we were in for. And because I'd watched so many, from the second they started, I'm like, oh, these guys have no idea what they're doing. These guys are idiots.
So we turn our lawn chairs away from the fire, just staring at
We are
these
just
guys.
watching these guys. So it is, and it gets worse and worse. Like you can tell, like, oh, this is really bad. They really don't know what they're doing. So that, like Chase said, like there was times where there's no way the driver can see this old guy. Like he's just in way behind. There's no way the mirrors can see him. They're getting really, really close. And there's two trees.
You and I were discussing, hey, like, should we go over there?
Yeah, but we were
Sick. We
and
could have put our
baked.
masks on.
We were just sitting around, smoking around the fire, just like enjoying our day, trying, just because we can't do nothing. We're just gonna, enjoy what we're just gonna sit here and watch. We don't need to go help, which in retrospect, we probably should
Our
have. 'Cause
campsite was kind of dope because you could see the lake from it. It was like a nice lake view. You said, oh, it was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. Lake Tahoe.
Minus the COVID, it was
Lake
awesome.
Tahoe would recommend. That place was sick.
Highly recommend the Tahoe.
Anyways, back to the trip.
So we're watching these guys, and like Chase said, this guy wouldn't give him any direction. He'd just say, keep it coming. Like clearly didn't know what he was doing. I'm like, he had got close to this tree a couple times, and Chase, I don't know what you were doing at this point, but I was locked in. I did not miss a second of this. I think it was kind of where I was standing. Oh, it's because
I was making sure Remy didn't burn himself to
right,
death.
because Remy kept trying to walk by the fire. That's what it was. Yeah. So I'm watching, and they kept getting really close. There was two trees, both on the side that we were watching, that were really tight, and then there was the utilities were blocked by these two metal poles that were kind of there to block the utilities, but just made it really, really hard to back in because it made it really tight.
I mean, they're like those horse head poles, so like the rim around is like a little sharp.
So probably the first, exactly, the horse head poles thing, perfect. Painting the picture.
Yeah.
So probably the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes was them just trying to navigate by the first tree, right? Just to start to get into the spot. They kind of got it past there. And then they're navigating the second tree, and it's taking forever, and it's getting close, and you can tell starting to get frustrated because now they've been at it 30, 45 minutes, right? It's frustrating. They've got out a couple times, had a powwow, like talked it over, got back in.
Nick and I have made like 4 hot dogs, eaten a meal, like restocked the fire. 45 minutes is generous. I would say.
Yeah.
So, it's getting dark.
so we're watching them, and you can tell that. I could tell the driver was getting mad, and he was getting a little bit more confident because now he's trying, like, where he's going really slow before. Now he's starting to give it a little bit of speed and kind of like, and I'm like, ooh, and a couple times it was really sketchy, right? And there was a couple of whoa, right? Like kind of a couple of those, and it was bad. So then they finally were getting it past the point where he had the trailer past all 3 of the impediments, like the back of the trailer, but really tight. So he probably has like 6 inches between the first tree, maybe 3 inches between the second tree, and then like right tight to these poles at the back. And he's getting it past, but they can't really leave it. They can't extend their slides. Like they can't do anything. They're so tight to that it's not a real good spot. So they get it in a couple times, but it's just way too tight and they have to pull it out. So the old guy is at the...
He's still at the back.
No, he's not. He's up looking at one of the trees, right? Keep an eye on the middle tree.
Oh yeah.
And he had backed it out, and then he goes like, yeah, you're going to have to take another bite. So he goes to pull it out, and you can tell he's frustrated, so he kind of pulls forward, and this guy's looking at the tree, not watching these utility poles at the back.
The horse heads.
And the horse heads. So now, like Chase said, on the top of the pole has a little bit of a cap that it has a sharp little lip on it, right? And he pulls out, and it digs into his slide, just, and we can hear it's loud, and we're like, oh shit. And I was
hits his awning thing.
Yeah. Like, so and Chase sends it. And I was Chase, come look. He's hitting it. Right. So he stands up. Me and Chase are watching it now. Right. And when it started hitting, the old guy goes, whoa.
Yeah.
Right?
Keep it coming.
And keep it coming. And he knows he's in trouble because he was supposed to be watching. So he's just sitting there with his head on his hands like, fuck, I just messed up big time. But doesn't communicate what happened to the driver. So the driver doesn't really know. And he kind of knows like,
scraping.
Once you're scraping, it's almost there's nothing you can do. You can back up and try again, but like you're in such a shit position. So he just guns it and it scrapes all the way down the slide, all the way down the back, and then catches the back, like the back lining of the
panel. There's
the back panel, and rips it right off. Hits the and bends the bumper, the bumper on the back, and the pole's bent.
Yeah.
And it is like bad.
It's a wreck.
Like a wreck. Like this beautiful.
You were very prophetic in talking about you need to watch this.
Yeah. I was like, because we could tell from jump this is going to be bad. Yeah. And it was worse than I ever thought it was going to be. Right? I thought maybe he'd back into it, a little ding or something. He mangled his like big damage.
The crazy thing about that, like, kind of jumping to the end of the story here, but the crazy thing about this whole fucking thing was all that needed to happen after this wreck was that old guy went and sat at some bench and the young guy went and directed him and they parked it in 5 minutes.
5 minutes. It was amazing.
And they're in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, who let this clown?
It was so bad.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So then they get out and you can tell it's like.
The driver's mad. He's giving us dirty looks because he knows that
we're sitting
Nick
watching.
was just goosenecking the whole time.
Yeah. Rubber necking. And I felt awful too because I've seen this and I know how hard it is. Like I wasn't trying to be. I was like, man, I feel so bad for you. Like we probably should have went and helped, but at a time like that, I just don't want to be involved.
Yeah, because imagine you're in that situation and you're struggling.
Yeah.
And then some random fucking guy
some
comes
young guys
up,
with Canadian
you want some
accents.
help?
Exactly.
Like, fuck you, dude.
And this is the thing. I've seen it both ways where I've seen people offer help and it be really taken the wrong way, offended. And I've seen it like, I could be wrong on this. I'll have to ask him, but I could swear in my childhood, I've seen Ingle back guys, campers in for them in Penticton. After they've been trying
Ingle's
for an
definitely a going to help kind of guy though.
He is, right? But I think, but I think maybe one time he tried and someone reacted because I hadn't seen him. I think I remember he used to do it and then he never even doesn't really approach now. Right? So maybe it went bad one time. I don't know. I'll have to ask him, but
maybe it went so bad where he helped and it turned out worse.
Maybe he wrecked someone. That'd be fucking hilarious. Oh, so this is our entertainment for the day. So we're watching it. Yeah. And like you said, they switched guys and he backed it in no problem. But then like you can just tell. So we're sitting there watching because like we said, we were out there all day and we're watching them like go in and you can just see like the tone, like they went into their camper and
Buddy cracks a tall Bud Light right away. Like so they're all like looking at this utility pole that's bent over and Buddy already has like a beer crack. He's like, fuck.
So they're trying to bend this utility pole back.
Like some sort of winch system. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, they're trying to get a tie strap and all this shit. Oh man, it was such a shit show, but very entertaining for us.
Very,
very entertaining. Yeah.
So then needed.
Some are still by the fire and we see them walk into town, like just walk by us and Chase goes, I guarantee they come back and that guy gets chucked in the lake.
The old guy's not with them.
They're just gonna walk by with the two of them. He's getting some cement shoes here.
He belongs to Tahoe.
Yeah, but they made her back. They didn't. They must have forgiven him. It was entertaining to say the least.
Yeah, it was. But it's a weird crew though.
Very weird.
Like, do you think they were there to? What were they there to do? They didn't really look like skiers.
No,
they didn't. I
don't know. Like the only thing I was thinking is maybe just gambling, just there for a gambling weekend. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. I mean, they're gonna have to hit it big on the blackjack tables to make enough to pay for that RV repair. Because I was gonna guess like crazy. That was probably at least
10 grand.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably at least an $80,000 unit, and that's probably at least 10 grand. I was gonna say tens, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was 20 grand.
It looked like that horse had also caught their awning thing that was on the side.
Yeah. So like the slide is super damaged. The back panel beside the slide was damaged and then whole back panel's ripped off. Like, oh, that is big money.
So then on the damage to RV, we had another little scare. So we're putting the slide.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That was when we got back from one of the town runs.
Yeah.
So we're putting the slide back out and I have like this big, like a big thermos water bottle.
Yeah.
And I had it on the back, bathroom sink. And when we were driving
right beside where the slide goes out.
Yeah. So when we were driving, it probably fell off and went kind of down in where the slide was. And it's like one of those big steel ones. So like okay, put the slide out. We're clear on the outside, clear, whatever. And you go to put the slide out and you can kind of hear like a little like real big kind of crunch.
Shit,
and we stop.
Yeah.
And like the slide, like where the dresser was, you could tell was like busted kind of out.
Because now the drawers would close, weren't closing. Oh.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. So we
figured out, we look in, we're like, oh shit, the bottle got wet, right? Because we sucked the thing back out, took the water bottle out, and then we're like, and it kind of bent like a little bit of it was just kind of wonky, right?
Yeah.
And we're worried about extending
so we're
the
trying
slide.
to like push this dresser
trying to push it back.
You can tell the wood is a little bent, like some sort of pressure. You can't close the drawers flush. They're very noticeably
and
not flush.
And we're down about it too. Like, like this is going to suck.
This could be big. Yeah. Like if we fucked up the slide somehow, it's fucked. So,
and I think that was the day that we tested positive too. So we're sick.
Yeah.
We're like, shit.
So we had kind of like exhausted all our options to try and fix this thing. And then I just kind of sit down on my bed and I kind of like look and I just like give it a good like hard boot
on the bottom.
Right, it was hooked on the bottom. Yeah, it was kind of hooked on phonics on the bottom. And I just gave it a hard boot and then boof, it just snapped back in. And the drawers went flush and I'm like, oh fuck, we're fucking good.
That was like one of those moments of like, just like,
oh dude.
That was such a high. That was such a high because we were so bummed about it. And just like everything else was going, fuck, we got COVID, like FO not be able to come. We fucked the slide up. Oh, yeah, it was tough. It was tough. But ended up positive.
Nothing a hard right kick won't fix.
Right kick won't fix. Exactly. So we, from there, get that fixed, have the day around the fire, watch the fireworks across the way. Got dark. We had the rest of our leftovers. Oh, and you made that shepherd's pie, I think.
Yeah, dude.
That was
that
real
shepherd's
good.
Pie slapped. Yeah.
So, and luckily, neither of us lost our taste or smell. Imagine Hell's Kitchen if we would have lost our taste. Oh, would have been rough. Anyway, so wake up next day and
start driving.
Yeah. Started driving back to FOs.
Because I left my clubs there.
Yeah. So, because we were thinking we're going to be back there to pick FO up, right? So we called FO and said, you know, like we're still we're hacking. We're not symptom free by any means at this point, right? Like we don't we'd love to have you either way. Like you did just have it, so you'll probably be fine. But he just had to play it safe. So that was a bit of a dagger. So we drive back, through Sacramento, through the Bay traffic, get there, have a little powwow with him on the front porch outside and just kind of let him know what he'd missed the last couple of days and said goodbye and got back on the road. And we pulled out and went all the way
through Bakersfield.
Yeah. How was
into the Mojave?
The Mojave Desert. Yeah, that was cool. But how about the elevation there, dude? Like when we left Bakersfield.
Oh, yeah. Well, because you're going in the whole kind of trip up through Bakersfield, kind of east out of California into New Mexico. Because I didn't really know this, but the Continental Divide runs right through New Mexico, like right through the center. There are signs all the way along the road. So like you're just after Bakersfield, we probably ran through like a half a tank of gas in half hour. It was like you're just driving uphill the whole way. The motorhome's just chugging at like 5,000 RPM. You can just hear the fuel getting sucked.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, fuck this. Going like 80, but you're just like straight uphill. Passing semis going 20. It was a rank.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. That wasn't the time I thought we were going to run out of gas, was it? That was later?
No, that was...
where was that?
That was in Zona.
Was it?
Yes.
Anyways, besides the point. But yeah, so crazy elevation. Where did we sleep that night? Just truck stop?
Truck stop.
Yeah. So if you guys remember, if you guys listened to the pod before of like the first couple of days of the trip, the first Walmart we stayed at, which was kind of our plan, we're just going to stay at Walmart's. But the first Walmart we stayed at was so sketchy in Tri-Cities. There were so many weird people around, that we just kind of figured, you know what? Truck stops. Like that.
And I think the other thing about truck stops that's nice is they're kind of like always built right off the interstate. You can just take an exit.
Yeah.
But Walmarts are like in cities.
Exactly.
And you got to kind of fuck around with the RV in a city, but truck stops are
lot lizards. So
lot lizards.
That was the other positive of saying at the truck stops, right? You got to have your lot lizards. Where were we where we saw that car with like whatever escort service LLC on that beater old van?
Oh, that was in Texas.
Was it? Yeah, I think it might have been.
Yeah.
I think it was when we first, I think this is going to be the next day. So yeah, we make it almost out of, I don't even think we made it into New Mexico. I think we're still in California, but we drove like...
Yeah, I got ahead of myself. New Mexico is after Arizona.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, we're not even close to that. But for whatever reason, there was some crazy elevation change after Bakersfield. We made it like almost to the California, Arizona border.
Yeah.
And we stopped for the night. Next day, woke up, got ripping, let me just check our notes of what we made for the trip and see if we're day 14, woke up packed, Hayward. Oh yeah. So we didn't miss nothing. So we woke up, got on the road, and next stop was going to be the Grand Canyon, right? Because again, we don't have to see anybody. We can isolate. We'll just be in an RV park. We can walk around the canyon. We're going to be outside. We're not going to put anyone at risk, right? Smart play. Good people. Great people.
Fuck, we're smart.
Fuck, we're smart, hey? So we get up. We start that drive. And again, this was, I don't remember that drive as much.
Because you slept the whole way.
Did I?
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, you drove a little bit in the morning, and then I drove to the Grand Canyon?
The Can Canyon?
The Grand Canyon.
Okay.
The Canyon.
Canyon?
Can on the canyon.
Canyon. So we get there, we pull up to the RV site, and again, we're both like feeling shitty at this point. We're not in the greatest shape at this point. We're just kind of, hacking, coughing, and we're about to set up like the RV again, and we just say, you know what? Let's go see the canyon before we set up. So we pack kind of whatever we had brought out at that point. I think maybe we had just put the leveling blocks out or something. We had done something. Put it back, go there, take Remy for a little walk, see the Grand Canyon is awesome, right? Did a little lip walk.
Grand Canyon fucking blew my mind.
You really, I thought it was cool. I feel like you enjoyed it a little bit more than I did.
It was wild.
Yeah. It was cool.
It was just like hard to comprehend.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
You just love it.
I don't even really know what to say about it.
It's like Rick and Morty.
Oh, dude.
And they have the giant sperm. They're going to the Grand Canyon. What's it, summer? Why? All the dudes. Come on. It's been a long, it was a long 2 weeks in the RV. Chase was feeling a little horny. He just got really excited for that Grand Canyon.
Giant sperm.
Anyway, besides what, so we go for that walk and we get back to the campsite and Chase goes, I don't really want to smoke tonight. Like, I'm just coughing so much. I think I'm just going to drink one of those drinks. I go, oh yeah, me too. Like, that's a great idea. Good idea. So because we got nothing going on, we had planned the next day we're going to go do the big hike. We're going to go hike into the Grand Canyon if we can. That was the plan. But for the night, we're not going to do nothing. There was no fire pits there. We were going to just be in the RV that night. So whatever. So we get there and, keep in mind, I'd never even had an edible in my life.
So Nick is talking about a little earlier how impatient he is, and that's kind of why he doesn't take edibles.
Yeah.
So no word of a lie, we're not even done the drinks yet. And like, so 5 minutes in, Nick's like halfway done his drink. He goes, dude, I'm not feeling it. I don't like it. It's just, I can just kind of feel it in my body. I'm going to go smoke. And I look at him in the eye. I'm like, dude, do not.
I don't think I said I'm going to go smoke. I said, I think if it continues to feel like this, where I just feel it in my body, I might just smoke because I don't really like the body high.
And I said, you need to hold your freaking horses.
Yeah, which is a really good thing you said that. So we finished the drink and proceeded to get violently high.
Yes.
Like, so fucking high. Like, holy shit, I've never been this high before in my life.
It was
up there. It was up there for sure. So we got to get to the point where I had to pee, but like I didn't even want to go outside.
You could tell the dog had to pee.
Yeah, we
and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to go outside.
Yeah,
like,
so I finally get the courage up I was like, I'm going to run to the bathrooms. And Chase like kind of gives me a look. He's like, when you get back, would you take Remy? Dude, no, I was like, maybe I'll see how it goes and I'll get back to you. But like, we just get back in. We can't do nothing. So we threw on Rick and Morty. I think we might have even watched that Grand Canyon episode.
I bought the whole 5th season. We watched,
because I'd seen the first couple episodes, so I hadn't seen it. Watched that, and then we watched the original Jackass.
Yes, because we're trying to prime up for Jackass 4.
Exactly, which we still haven't seen. Might have to go see that tonight or something. Oh, you're busy. Maybe tomorrow. Family Day, dude. Got to be the family.
It's Family Day.
So yeah, I just had like a wild night of just like me and him having fun, both like curled up in our bed watching shit, just like crazy. We wake up in the morning and we're both just like, maybe not like still high, but like groggy. Like usually weed doesn't get really a hangover from weed, but we were like feeling, plus still clearly sick as well.
Yeah.
So we go to the Grand Canyon and we're going to do this big hike that hikes you down into the canyon. We've got Remy.
It was called the Bright Angel Trail.
The Bright Angel Trail, yeah. So we get there. We are just walking kind of to the mouth of the trail. Chase had like a backpack with some drinks, some water for Remy. Remy's fired up. He's seen all these people, seen some dogs, and we get to this trail.
Mules.
Yeah, so we come up, and then right when we're about to walk on the trail, we just see these mules coming up, right? And it's like these guided mule tours that take you down in the canyon on this trail. And the guy kind of says to Chase, hey, can you just grab your dog? We're coming up. Sometimes horses don't go well. So yeah, grab the horses, they park, and we start to walk down this trail. And
treacherous.
It doesn't look icy at all. For some reason, it was the weirdest thing. It was just kind of like compressed snow almost. Like it didn't look like it should be slippery.
Yeah.
It was slippery as a motherfucker. And Remy's so fired up and like, he's still a puppy. He doesn't really have like the leash walking down fully yet. He likes to pull. He gets excited. So like Chase is going downhill. You're trying not to slide. Chase is getting pulled. He's like, can you try it for a bit? Then I'm getting pulled. Cause I also have these shoes that I've had for like 3 years. They have no grip. They're completely flat. So I'm like,
and you see other people hiking and they have like those full on like spikes that go on the bottom of your shoes. Like everyone is very prepared for the ice. And
these two idiots are not.
We have Adidas flat ass soles, like not working. The dog's pulling us down.
Chase is getting mad.
Yeah.
Chase is not
let's
having
fucking
it.
turn around.
This is shitty, right? So we make it, I don't know, maybe couple 100 feet down this trail. It's treacherous as all hell. Beautiful though, like super cool trail.
Because you're like kind of riding the
you're riding the
wall
so like the right side, and it's sketchy. That's the other thing too. And I don't think you love heights.
Yeah,
don't like being near edges.
Fan.
Yeah, not a huge fan. So like, kind of and I don't really mind heights. Also, I have impeccable balance, so I was not as bad. Impeccable balance, great balance on the kid. So I wasn't that bad, but I was like fully committed to like, with the dog, this is way too sketchy. Like, yeah, let's turn around. So we start hiking back up, now going uphill, trying to walk up this thing. It's kind of sketchy too. We get to the top and we see the sign. No pets. No pets. No dogs. Like, which makes 100% sense. There's like mules on this trail. Like we just missed the sign going down. So we're like, that's crazy. So then but we could do the lip trail. So you can walk along the top of the trail and there's a bunch of different lookouts and stuff. So we walk, I don't know, 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And we are both sick. Like it's so beautiful and it's so cool. And it's like nice, like brisk cold, but neither of us wanted to say like, let's turn around because we were enjoying it, but like just a death march.
And the dog was going. The dog was every person that he passed on the trail, like just loved him.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Remy that I found is like, I'm a bit of like, I wouldn't say I'm antisocial, but I don't like a small dog and meet. But now that I got Remy, I've had to like adapt and be like, fuck. Every second person I see, I'm going to have to chat with because of the fucking Remy.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's how the trail was. Every second person. Like, oh, this dog.
But it was really nice. You know, like it made it pretty far. Gave Remy some water breaks. It was good. Like every time we give Remy a water break, I just sat down because I'm like, oh, this is shitty, right? Like, because you know, I run a lot. Like it's not that it was just.
And it was a little bit cold too. So like you're breathing in cold air, you kind of get that cold throat. It's just not a good call.
Yeah, but like
we hoofed it though.
We hoofed it, and we did. Yeah, probably like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour like good hike around this.
Like there wasn't extreme elevation changes, but there were some hills.
It was not a flat hike either. No. But like you said, beautiful sights. Chase was like loving it. I loved it too. Not maybe to the same degree, but like it was awesome, right? So we do that and we get back to the RV and I am like just fucking not doing great. Like just like so Chase hops in, he goes to lay down, has a sleep, and I'm just driving like white knuckling, just like trying to keep my eyes on the road, like just not feeling great. We make it out of the Grand Canyon, maybe to like close to Zona. Or is it in Zona?
Dude, we drove all the way from the Grand Canyon to Maricopa that day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So so we got up, groggy from these weed drinks, did a crazy like 3 hour hike, and then hopped in the RV and pulled it all the way back to Maricopa where my parents.
Which was only about 4 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't that big. It wasn't that bad of a drive. So Chase had a little sleep. I drove the first bit, then Chase took over. I went and had a little lay down and pulled into Maricopa. Had a nice little steak dinner. So my parents got to meet Remy for the first time, which was awesome. Like Remy loved my mom, like instantly. They were just, and Ingle loves dogs too. He was just in his element because I think he was kind of getting a little sick of we weren't sick of him, but like I think Remy's so used to people being so psyched to see him and so excited that we were with him for like 2 weeks in an RV. Like we were just wanting to have new people that I was that excited and just wanted to see him every second. He was loving it. So we had, a nice dinner that night, had, good little sleep in it, woke up the next day, went in the pool. It was the next day you went and got a test.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're trying to get a COVID test to get proof of positive because then you can cross the border. You don't have to pay a $300 test to have proof of negative, right? You say if you've had proof that you have it in the last, I don't know, it gives you 90 days or something.
14 to 180 days.
Yes. Of freedom or whatever it is. So, but we couldn't get booked in anywhere. Chase found one spot like the next day, but we could only get him. So that day we just hopped in the pool, tried to teach Remy how to swim. That was hilarious.
He went in a couple under his own fruition.
Yeah. Yeah. Volition.
Fruition.
Comes to fruition of your own volition. 2 different words. Sound the same. Different. Yes.
Cool.
You learned some words this trip too.
Yeah, dude. Prophetic.
was the other ones? Oh, there's a couple
That
good
was
ones.
it. I
No,
taught
there
you
was a
some
couple
words.
good. You taught me some words. You taught me some things. Taught me how to get ivermectin really deep up a butthole. That was good. That was good lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it taught Remy how to get in the pool. That was lots of fun. He was super cute. He'd go on to like the little like floaties because like me, Chase, my mom and dad were all in the pool. Like my parents were on like floaties. We were just swimming, but you could tell he was like really fired up. He wanted to be part of it, but like it was kind of just running around the edge and he'd put like his front paws in, but it was kind of like sketched out.
He didn't know how to enter without dunking his face.
Exactly. Yeah.
He didn't know how, he wouldn't commit.
Yeah. So he would get, exactly. So he'd get onto the first step where all four paws are like in the water, but only like 4
Ankle
inches.
deep.
Yeah. 4 inches of water, dog ankle deep. And human ankle. I think dog and human ankles are about.
Deep.
No. Then he'd be up to
dog
his-
knee deep. That's what I meant.
Dog knee deep.
Dog
Yes.
knee deep.
So he's dog knee deep on the first step, but then he'd go to put his paws onto the second step, and then he'd just dunk his head under the water because he could. So then he'd just back out, and he couldn't. Yeah, he wouldn't commit. He didn't understand. Like he just had to get his back legs in too, and then he could swim. So how did you end up getting him in the first time? Did you just grab him?
I kind of had a stick, and he kind of like you could tell he wanted to come in. So I eventually just got him where he wasn't like pulling
and
away.
just kind of
and
held
I just
him,
lifted him, brought him in the water.
Yeah, and then you let him
carried
swim
him
back.
around.
Yeah. And then you'd bring him so like maybe like 4 or 5 feet away from the stairs and just let him swim to the stairs, and he'd get out and then we'd do it. And then eventually you get a little bit more confident. And you'd let him swim to me, and then like he was kind of figuring it out. Had a good little water day with Rems, and then left Remy in your room. Where did we leave?
In the
Because
crate.
Yeah. Was that the day he did not want to go in the crate?
No, that was the first day. He went in there fine, but then because until that day, he's only ever been in a crate to sleep.
Right.
Like nighttime.
Yeah.
So he was probably like, oh, crate. I didn't notice. Like he went in.
Yeah.
But then we like left.
Yeah. And my mom came golfing that day too. So all four of us. So
and that's when he freaks out the most. Even when I put him in for nighttime still, like if I put him in the crate and I go to bed and he can like see that I'm in bed, he's fine. But if I like put him in bed and then I have to like get out of bed and go downstairs to get water, he freaks. Like he's like, well, now you're leaving me in this crate. So that's when he kind of realized I don't like this.
Right. So we had a nice game of golf. My mom had some new clubs, tried them out. Chase gave a few lessons. Anything interesting in that game of golf? I don't even remember. Nah. Yeah, just regular run of the mill, muck some balls.
Run of the mill golf.
I use some big drives.
Volvic Marvel balls.
Yeah, my mom had, I don't know where she got them, some like Marvel. She had like one Hulk, one Captain America golf ball, right? And
it sounded like I was hitting a stone.
Yeah, it was crazy. So Chase just decided to play the whole round with this Hulk golf ball, which I could never do, not lose a ball the whole round. That would be crazy. Got back. What did we do that night? There was an Oilers game on. We got back.
Yeah, Maricopa was just relatively chill.
Yeah, it was kind of get out of the RV. Yeah, be in a house, lay on the couch, kind of veg out a little
Sleep
bit.
on a lumpy bed.
Yeah, we're still kind of recovering from COVID. We weren't nothing like we were in Tahoe or even the Grand Canyon at that point. We were with it. We were with it. Like we were feeling better. We were just still congested, still coughing a bit, but like not the body aches or anything that. We kind of walked through all that fire at that point. Then we watched the Oilers game that night. Didn't do much. Probably an early night again. Had a nice dinner. I think we had like ribs and macaroni. It was nice. Get some home cooked meals. Woke up next day, went in the pool again. You got your COVID test. Remy was getting a little bit more confident. Then he was kind of coming in the water a little bit better. And we went and golfed.
Another game of golf,
but we left Remy at home with my mom. Mm-hmm. So we had a fourth that joined us. And it was this old farmer from
Rocky Mustard Tiger.
Rocky Mustard Tiger. His name was Rocky, and he has a big farm. And Ingo, really interesting, cool guy from Alberta, and come down there. And Ingo's first place that he bought down in Phoenix, Tortosa, he had a house there too, and they both had so they had all these. They were just hitting it off. It was like sparks were flying. It was amazing. Yeah. Me and Chase were watching them, and you can tell when Ingo wants to impress somebody, he gets into his mood. So me and Chase are just having a great time watching Ingo and Rocky get along like shit. And he was a fun guy.
The best line of the whole day, we had just teed off or something. And this guy it turned out one of his big money makers on his farm. He did livestock, everything, but he grew mustard. Organic mustard. So like very interesting, but like you could tell Ingo is just like thinking of questions to ask the guy. Like, so we both tee off and we're getting in the carts. And as I'm driving the cart past Ingo and Rocky in the other cart, all I hear is, so when you're growing mustard, and then and I was like, oh, he's in it now. So Ingo had thought 4 holes of this question to ask. Yeah. And that's all I heard. And I was like, oh, they're buds. Oh, they're buds. When you're growing mustard.
Yeah. So we just had a wicked round. This guy's real fun. Like he was buying us
Good
drinks.
dude,
Yeah, real good dude. Again, similar to Old Bay. Good laugher too. Like when we were making jokes, he'd, give up the last. He made some funny jokes and he was really impressed with your golf game. I think he really enjoyed watching you play. Which,
for sure.
Which I think is one of the funnest parts of golf when you guys went golfing with you when we go with other people. It's really fun to watch someone really good at golf, right? Even if you're not that into it, it's fun to watch someone just fucking pound the ball. And you were pounding it that second day, right? Like the game in San Fran, knocking the rust off, right? It wasn't your best game. First game of the Duke was pretty good, but then that second day you were
I think when it got dark, I was like 3 or 4 under.
Yeah, exactly.
On like hole 14 or something like that.
And
so I was hitting it good that day.
And that's typical Maricopa golf is we just, try and get as many holes in before it's dark. You usually hitting the last hole where it's, you can't see shit. So came home. I think there was another Oilers game on that night.
Maybe.
Then you and Ingo watched that terrible movie, that sniper movie. I wanted nothing to do with it. I watched all the pre-fight stuff because I was starting to get really fired up for the fights by that point because we were getting close. That was like
the home stretch.
3 days away, 2 days away?
Oh, yeah, 2 days. It was like Thursday. No, it was Wednesday. 3 days away.
Right. Yeah, so that was Wednesday, 3 days away. We're getting really excited for that. Had another nice dinner, kind of did all the last minute things, tried to wash some clothes. I ended up leaving like half my clothes there like an idiot in the dryer. Disappointed. I brought my cowboy boots all the way to Texas just to wear cowboy boots.
You know what you should have done?
What?
You should have wore those denim shorts and cowboy boots.
Can you imagine?
That would have been a move.
Oh, that would have been a look.
That would have been nice.
I would have been beating the bitches off with a stick though.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been, we would have got mobbed. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So, next morning, wake up, and we had ordered a new mirror to Maricopa, so we got there. And I texted my mom because she's like, "Oh, there's a package for Chase." I said, "Don't let Dad open it," because I know Ingo. He's going to open it for sure. He says it was a mistake.
As if.
Yeah. Come on, Ingo. Yeah. So he's kind of buzzed. So then that morning, get up, change out the mirror, get the new mirror on, which, I didn't think it'd be that
piece of cake.
Piece of piss. But also, I didn't realize how nice it was because we were kind of used to, crouching down, using that little blind spot. We were getting by. But then to have another mirror, I was like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. So got the mirror on. Pulled from Arizona all the way to through New Mexico. New Mexico was
through El Paso.
Yeah, New Mexico.
New Mexico is a ghost town.
Man. It was the craziest thing.
Like, all they have is the thing.
The thing. Oh yeah, there's this one gas station that apparently had like a museum.
It was some weird,
but they had
mummy museum.
They probably had like a couple hundred billboards for it
at least
starting
in Arizona.
It was amazing. Like just every couple hundred feet you'd pass.
And I don't think I ever saw the gas station.
I mean, I don't know where it was. Yeah. So that just didn't see a damn thing in New Mexico. And like the whole trip, every drive is just beautiful. We're seeing crazy things. We're going through like this small towns and like just enjoyed everything except for New Mexico. That was like just desert.
Yeah.
Nothingness. Yeah. Kind of, incline gains. Anyway, pull through. Then we get into Texas. And Texas was just next level. So we roll in. First big place we see is El Paso. And it is kind of in our heads. COVID. In our heads, we thought El Paso is probably just a little, a little border town. That's kind of what we had heard of it. And we pull into this massive, massive city. Like just as far as the eye can see, but not super built up. Like everything kind of flat, like maybe like 2-story, 3-story, 4-story maximum. But like just rank huge. Every big direction city. You look, big. Drive through there. I think we switched in El Paso. I think I hopped in. We did another big day. I think we pulled, or did we?
We stopped fairly soon. That was a loud ass truck stop.
Was it?
Yeah.
So did we do Maricopa to
somewhere?
Just
we were like 3 hours outside of San Antonio when we stopped that day.
I thought that was the second day. So we did Maricopa all the way to 4 hours outside of San Antonio in one day.
Yeah.
That was a big drive day. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
We pulled. And then we stopped at...
Because we each took 2 shifts that day.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
And I drove till like almost midnight.
Yeah. We were pulling some shift. But that was a nice thing because... And part of the reason was we figured out that like one of my like top 3 favorite MMA fighters, Sugar Sean, was doing a meet and greet at a bar downtown Houston Friday night. So if we were to be able to get to... The plan was to get to Houston like whatever time Friday, even if it was late, we'd be there and we'd have the Saturday. Even if we had to like stop and pull in Saturday morning, we'd be there for the fights. But when we saw that, I was like, I didn't want to push it too hard, but I was like, that'd be really cool if we could. So we just crushed that first day, drove, almost like, 4 hours outside of San Antonio, stopped at this truck stop that was so loud. Like just where we parked, there was some sort of like grate that people drove over. It would shake the RV when they did. It was like,
that was not fun.
But we had already driven so long and we had already like stopped. It was like midnight. We're not going to do anything at that point. So we just tried to sleep through it, woke up in the morning, fired up to get to Houston, drove through San Antonio, another huge place. Like just everything in Texas is just massive. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Isn't that what someone said that once?
I think someone said that once. Pull through. We get into, just on the drive in, we just looked at, we didn't know where Cuggy lived. Cuggy's our other friend that
Cuggy lives in Houston.
In Houston. Yeah. What'd I say?
You said we didn't know where he lived.
Oh, you idiot. You're an idiot. So I was like, but we knew he lived like close to downtown because we knew he's close to the Toyota Center where the fights were. So we just looked up like RV places close to downtown, found one, and we looked up dog boarding places because that was like the one time we were going to board Remy.
Yeah,
and looked it up, got to the RV place. We were gonna maybe figure out something with Remy that night, like maybe bring him to Cuggy's or something.
He was undecided. I had like already booked him in the next morning. Place, yeah.
Right. Oh, this is what happened. So we thought Cuggy has to have a car. So we're like, we'll get there. We'll get Cuggy to come pick us up. He can grab Remy and the dog. We'll bring him there. He can stay there tonight. And then tomorrow morning, we can bring him to the boarding place.
Yeah.
I think was the plan.
That was the play.
So we get there. I'm like, Cuggy, you have a car? He's like, no, I don't have a car. I'm like, shit. Well, that changes some things. And he said, I also don't have blankets. So you guys have to bring blankets and a pillow or something. So we're like, shit.
He probably couldn't get Laura to agree to pay for a third of the blankets. So he didn't buy them.
Oh, that's hilarious. So we're sitting there and we're trying to figure it out. And then we figured out, oh, they have a shuttle. Mm-hmm. Maybe because it's also downtown Houston, like this big RV, kind of hard to get around. Like
that was a crazy drive in.
That was
a slow drive. Like, oh man. Yeah.
Yeah. Like bumper to bumper, like crazy packed. And Houston's a huge place. So like we were probably driving through like busy, like city traffic for like an hour. And then it was like, you're entering Houston. We're like, what? We're just entering Houston now. Like this is crazy. So we get there and we called to see if shuttle would come pick them up at the RV place. And we just missed it. Like it was like 6 o'clock and they're like, oh, the shuttle runs till 5:30. So we're like, oh shit, what do we do? And we're like, should we just bring them there tonight? If they can take them tonight, it's just the shuttle. Let's just drive there and drop them off that night.
I said, I'd prefer not to. I love my dog. And Nick said, fuck your dog. We're going to see Sugar Sean.
Yeah, that's exactly how it happened. For sure. Verbatim, really. So we drive. I hop in because like where it was too is going to be hard to like hop out. There's not really any parking around this dog boarding place. So I drive. Chase is getting like all Remy's stuff ready. I think we had to like jump out and get like his vaccine stuff like out of one of the things at a red light. Stressful kind of drive. We get there and I like park in this little, I don't know, strip mall thing. My ass end like hang out into the street. You run in and you can probably take them here.
Oh, it's just a sad day. So since I've had Remy up until this point, like 2 months I've had him.
Yeah.
And haven't gone like 24 hours without seeing him or being with him in some capacity. So I walk into this boarding place and it's like, I wouldn't say it's a shithole, but it's not. You went in when we picked him up.
Yeah,
like it wasn't very nice. Like you could, the dogs barking in the back were very loud. Like, so I kind of hand Remy to the guy reluctantly. And as soon as he like opens the door to take Remy in the back, the barking got louder because the door got open and Remy's tail went between his legs. And I'm like lumping my throat, like inches away from grabbing the leash and being like, nah,
I changed my mind.
We'll figure, like, I'll figure something else out. Like I was very close, like almost crying in this place. And it was just like very hard to let him go. Cause if I would have walked in there and it was a nice building and nice clean and smelled good and there was no dogs and they just,
dogs.
As soon as his tail went between his legs, it
heartbreaking.
hit me and I was like, fuck, this is, but it turned out not to be horrible.
They sent me such a happy dog.
They sent me that little album of like,
when we're at the fight.
Yeah. I paid $25 for like this extra little outing where they have story time and take him out for extra activities. So they sent me like a picture album from there. Yeah. He's chewing on a book. It looked pretty funny. So it is what I needed, but
so Chase hops back. So Chase hops back in the RV, like clearly upset, right? Like, and keep in mind, I've cried like 3 times just leaving her with Alyssa when I go back to Grand Prairie. Like, fuck, it's. I understand for sure.
Yeah,
but like, still a bit of a downer. Like even when we got back to like the RV park and we like set it up, like still was kind of a somber time. And then we got to like pack up call an Uber, pack like all our clothes, all the shit we're going to need, and blankets. So we look like homeless dudes standing outside this RV park with a bunch of like big blankets and shit. Roll over to Cuggy's. He has this beautiful place downtown, like unreal. He said it wasn't that nice. I thought it was fucking crazy. I couldn't get over how nice it was. Like nice gym in it. Like I just thought it was awesome. Just being downtown, get there. Did we do anything that night? Yeah.
Sugar Sean.
Boner, I'm an idiot.
The barbecue.
Yeah. So we roll out, go to Sugar Sean. I had my Sugar Sean bucket hat, my
in
pink.
his back pocket.
Yeah, well, I just didn't want to be going. I didn't want to roll in a fucking like, I don't know.
It's a pink bucket hat. Like who cares? You're rolling into a bar. People look around. People wearing dumb shit.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm wrong. I'm an idiot.
Hey.
So we roll in to this thing and we see like this lineup. We see him up there, like he's in the corner. There's like a little stage thing and they're just firing people through like quick picture and gone, quick picture and gone. And I see Tim Welch, who's his coach. He does a podcast with him. He used to fight and he fought in the UFC. Like really big fan of him too. And he's just sitting like on a chair in the back. Everyone's just like, you can tell it's people that aren't like big fans of him, right? Like they're just kind of walking by him, don't even recognize him, thinking he's security or something, just going right to Sugar, taking a picture and going by. So we're in the line, moving up. And as soon as we walk up, I just went straight to Tim, was like, hey, big fan of the podcast. And he was fired up. Like he was like, oh, sick. Like someone like actually recognized me. He hopped in the picture, got a picture with him and Sugar and me, you and Cuggy. Asked him to sign the hat and he's like, no, we're not allowed to sign anything. I'm like, oh, too bad, but whatever. It's still fun. And then we're like, should we stay here, get a drink? What should we do? And I was like, I don't know. Like, we could. And he's like, well, there's also this Pinkerton's barbecue. We're like, wow, that's pretty good. Let's go there. Yeah. We can always come back.
We've kind of been talking about Texas barbecue the whole way.
And I think I'd heard of Pinkerton's too. Like, I think that's one of the best ones. And we roll in there and we order just
the best muck of a barbecue I've ever had in my life.
Like
Pinkerton's.
Maybe Hell's Kitchen was the best food of the trip. But that Pinkerton's was a close second to me.
Oh, if you like barbecue.
I love barbecue.
Those pork ribs were fucking
so good, dude. That brisket. Oh. So we ordered like ribs, brisket.
And it's not necessarily a buffet style, but you get in line and you go and they like you order your sides, they put it on a big tray, then they scoot you down, and then you tell them what meat you want. They cut it right off the big chunk of brisket. They cut you slices. They'll take a big full rack. They say, how much of these ribs do you want? So, and then they just give you like 2 trays full of food and you go sit at these picnic tables.
Yeah.
And muck.
Oh, so we ordered like a bit of everything and just went to town on this stuff.
Yeah. And then we went to that German beer place.
Oh yeah. I went to this beer garden. Yes. And it was huge. Like everything's bigger in Texas, very clear. We learned this lesson quite a few times, but go to this just massive outdoor beer gardens. They got like fire pits here. They have like swings. They have all this stuff. And I was just loving it. Like, I guess we saw people in San Fran, but like in a packed bar, it just wasn't the same, but just like that feeling of just being around normal people, just sitting at a place drinking, like I was loving it. Like we just kind of kept to ourselves. We didn't, get too crazy. Just had a couple of drinks. I was so full I could barely fit beer in.
There was people with dogs there, so it was dog friendly. You heard my soul. That
you were. There, I think that whole night you were struggling a little bit. Yeah, kind of next day is when you kind of got a little bit better, shook it off a bit. But I was like just loving. I was in heaven, just being around people, just with no masks on, just like being normal, living normal life. That was like one of my favorite parts of the trip was just that first night being there. So just had some beers there, went back to Cuggy's, had a good sleep, and then woke up in the morning. Cuggy made us some smoothies.
We got a quick pump in.
Quick pump, for sure. You got to get a quick pump, before the fights, got to look big. Quick pump, and then we just were like, we're going to, doors open.
So did this... Take it over. So right before the fights, would this be a good spot to stop it? We've been going a couple hours.
Yeah.
I got to pee.
Yeah. And then do another one and cap it off. Okay. Yeah.
So we'll start with the next one. We'll start right with the fights.
Okay. I mean, there's a pretty big moment before the fights.
What?
The Japanese
The balls was
food.
Hawkeye.
No, the Japanese food, dude. How fucking good was that?
That was pretty fucking unreal.
But we'll save the Japanese food for next time too. All right. Well, that was day 4 to day. What the fuck would that have been? Because
I think the fights and Austin we're gonna spend a bit of time on.
That's so funny. Like
that could be the finale.
Yeah, me and Chase did like a little, just kind of trying to remember everything we did on the day and just like quick notes on everything. So I looked up like what day it was to see. So what do I have written for that? Woke up, smoothies, quick pump. Oh, that's funny. Okay, well that was day 4 to day 21 of the trip. I think Texas was my favorite part. So like, there's still some
a lot
crazy,
of Texas to go.
Yeah, there's still some craziness. All the drive home, there's still a lot to do, but that'll be on the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know. I'll probably maybe record an intro and outro on the other end of this, so I don't have to end this so awkwardly. But yeah, other than that, hope you guys are enjoying it. There'll be more to come. I'll be recording lots of episodes coming up in the next little while. Getting some things rocking and rolling, some big ideas, and now that Chase is back on the pod, I mean, probably be hearing from him. Pretty
possibilities are endless.
Possibilities are endless. That's a good way to say it. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed. We'll talk to you on the next one. Bye.
Love you.
Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you.